Hello, fellow homebrewers. JP here, and I want to introduce to you the brand new Brew-Built X1 Conical Series available at More Beer. More Beer sells the highest standard in homebrewing equipment, and the Brew-Built Conicals are just that. They're made from mirror-polished 304 stainless steel, and they come with loads of features that you and I have been looking for. They have a full 2-inch bottom dump valve, which will eliminate your clogging issues, while the sturdy base includes 4 reinforced legs, just like those big Pro tanks do. More Beer also carries the Brew-Built line of options and add-ons like casters, pressure kits, and even external glycol chillers. So you can find out more about the new Brew-Built X1 Conical Unitanks by going over to morebeer.com for detailed videos on the entire line of Brew-Built Conicals. You can trust Brew-Built with your next fermentation, and you can trust More Beer to find the right conical for you. Brew-Built at morebeer.com.
Today's Sunday session is brought to you thanks to the fine folks at More Beer. Visit them right now at morebeer.com.
I poured it in my mouth and it just wasn't going down.
My first beer was an IPA, the best IPA I've ever drank, mostly because I brewed it.
If you have a scale that is good for measuring cocaine, you're probably good for measuring hops on cocaine.
You're scaring me.
I think the information is awesome and the audio sucks.
Make some sugary water, throw some yeast in there.
And you're going to drink good beer.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's fine.
God damn it, man. Oh, my God. Oh, uh-oh.
Now, live from the Brewing Network studios in Northern California, this is the radio program for home brewers, craft brewers, beer lovers, and beer geeks. It's your only source for live beer radio that brings expert brewers together with, well, expert drinkers. This is the radio program with a head on it. This is The Session.
Everybody, welcome one and all to The Session. I'm JP. I'm hosting today because Justin is either on his way or has already landed in Germany, which is weird. Justin's on a vacation.
Again.
That's just part of his vacation.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's...
Technically, was he ever off vacation?
Well, no.
Just from one place to the next.
From one place to the next. So, hey, man, but that's cool. The beer train rolls along, and we have a really awesome show for you today. We have Steve Doty from Shady Oak Barrel House in Santa Rosa. Right, Steve?
Yep.
All right. He's sitting on the first segment, too. I kind of like that sometimes when guests sit in on the first segment. It's fun.
I want to be part of it, you know?
Yeah, well, you are.
All fun here.
Gives you someone to talk to.
Yeah, exactly. Man, especially you weren't here. And Warren wasn't here, and nobody got Nate in to cover. So it was Tasty and I last week, which is fine. We rocked it.
But no, you didn't.
We did. Tasty, I think we did great.
We did fine.
I think we did.
I'll go fine.
I think it was a good show.
If they don't like it, they can fuck themselves.
I thought it was a great show. But the more people...
I did get a complaint or two. Somebody said I was too chatty. What the fuck?
Too chatty.
How can I be that?
Fuck that person.
Yes.
Well, that person can talk to me.
Say more than one word every 15 minutes. That's too chatty.
Yeah, that's right.
I thought it was great, personally. And I thought we got field work, of course, the great field work out of Berkeley. But the more people in the studio, the better. So I'm glad, Steve, that you decided to sit in. Feel free to chime in whenever you want.
Will do.
If you're, if you're that type of person.
Guess we'll hear from the feedback this week.
Yeah, we're getting some feedback. Doc is here, speaking of feedback.
Yeah.
Fresh off of Burning Man.
Yeah.
You do seem a little spent. A little low energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Low serotonin, maybe.
Right. There's none left. It's like,
that gland is dry.
Oh, yeah. That's like, that tap is just...
It's spitting foam. Your brain is spitting foam right now. All right, that's cool. Well, you made it.
Yeah.
You didn't get too sunburned.
No.
That's good.
I was out in the sun quite a bit, too. But
did you have a good time?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. It has good points. There's bad points.
Really?
Yeah. Took Parker out there.
Oh, that's right. How was his first burn?
He had a pretty good time. I brought him in on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sunday-ish.
Get him the whole experience?
Yeah.
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 What do you think?
He had a good time. He was like, it was he had been waiting for a long time, and I just said, "Hey, is it all what you thought of me?" And he goes, "And more."
So, what are his feelings now about older women? That change? Is he?
Yeah, yeah.
He's cool with that.
He kind of likes all of them.
Oh, I see.
I think it was the first night on the art car. We're driving around, and he's up standing on the back rail.
Yeah.
You can hold on to the two poles in the back, and you can get a good commanding view.
Okay.
And then turn around, and he's got two little Brazilian chicks one under each arm, and they're taking pictures with him and shit.
That rock star lifestyle, man.
I was like, cool.
That's awesome. Speaking of rock stars, I want to thank More Beer, the people who bring you this session and every session. Get everything you need to make great beer at home by going to morebeer.com. That is the wrong note. Support people who support us. We wouldn't be here without our sponsors. Again, like the aforementioned More Beer or anybody you're going to hear tonight. So please order some stuff from them. Write them an email, call them, track them down, Google search them, find their home addresses, and talk to them during family dinner and thank them very, very much for sponsoring the Brewing Network. It goes a long way. You can sponsor us going to our homepage, getting our Amazon link, and doing some shopping over there. You can buy presents for Tasty. Buy presents for me if you want, whatever. But do it through the Amazon link. Send it here to the studio, and we'll enjoy it. You can also go to the store and buy some merchandise there. Our friends up at Wild Beer Company out in Norway are holding their third annual beer fest called the What's Brewing Fest from October 20th through the 23rd. And Justin will be up there, possibly Tasty. We don't know yet for sure.
I'll be there.
We don't know. You will.
I'm gonna make it happen.
Okay. All right.
I have a few conditions.
What's your rider like? What's your rider look like? What is it?
I'm going to stop at Copenhagen. That's all.
Okay.
No, nothing special.
But that's on you, right? That's not.
If there's any extra, sure, I'll be into that. But
okay. All right.
Copenhagen is one way to get there. You can fly directly from.
I see.
San Francisco to Copenhagen. Then it's an hour and a half to whatever the place.
Skurvag.
Something.
I think that's
Stavanger or something.
Yeah, I think that's my IKEA desk. So don't quote me on what that's called. Would you rent a car, or are you requiring a town car?
No, the people would pick me up.
Okay. You got people in Copenhagen.
I got people.
That would drive you up to Skurvag.
No, to Malmo, where I'm going to hang out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sweet.
So anyway, if you're up in Norway around the 20th through the 23rd, check them out, man. What's Brewing? I believe it's what'sbrewing.no. But anyway, the Wild Beer Company up there, good friends of ours. We have feedback today, Doc, and I'm glad you're here for it.
Yeah, I like that.
It's brought to you by Beer Law Center. If you are trying to enter the beer biz and you need someone on your side, beerlawcenter.com.
Cool.
Yeah, John's a cool dude. He'll protect your patent and or your trademark and, like that. Hi, Warren. Warren's not here in 2 seconds, and he's already breaking shit. You don't even have headphones. That's how much we expected you to show up.
Unfortunately, I can still hear you, though.
Oh, it sucks.
I know.
Yeah, what a bummer.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. I'm here, finally.
Yeah, you are. We were talking about Parker's first burn. It was your first burn, too.
Yes.
And you survived.
I did, I think.
And you look like you got some sun.
This is real life? Really?
Yeah.
This is me tan.
Yeah.
It's not burnt. It's just
it's not burnt.
I'm pink.
Yeah.
I got sous vide out there on the playa.
Did you have a good time?
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Everything you expected? More? Yeah?
Yeah. I didn't know what to expect.
He won Best Beard at the contest.
Is it a contest, really?
Oh, yeah.
There was actually the guy who got second.
Yeah.
It was a real close competition.
You were nervous.
Oh, yeah. I was like, it came down to an applause off.
Okay.
And I was worried. I'm like, I'm going to get embarrassed up here. And
well, that note, too, he said he walked in to the contest and some lesser beards just walked out in shame.
Oh, yeah,
I would have done that, too, man.
There were people leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, it was a good time. And it was kind of funny because the beard competition was literally right next door to our camp.
Oh, really?
So the entire week, there were guys in that camp coming over and be like, hey, you should come over to our beard competition on Friday. And so
you felt like the hot chick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, we were in the neighborhood.
That's
so
true.
I was the hot chick.
There you go, man.
Yeah.
That's good.
We were right across from the glam cocks.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I want to know.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure I'll hear all about it.
Yeah.
Sure, hear all about it. Just, from what I did while you guys were gone, totally went backstage at the Journey show, and that was awesome.
Yeah,
the Doobie Brothers opened, and that was it.
So, did you say hi to Paella?
I didn't say hi to Paella, but I did meet Ross, the bass player, I met him. I almost knocked him over walking around backstage. But that dude, I'm going to use his given name, Arnell.
Oh, okay.
That dude kicks some ass, man. He jumps around, and he's. I was saying on the last show, it's more like he is a fan of the band rather than I'm the front man of the band.
Okay.
It's a weird dynamic, and I kind of like that. Like he doesn't project that he's part of the band.
Right.
But it's like encouraging everybody to give all the attention to the band as they're playing. It's very weird.
Like, hey, have you seen these guys behind me?
Essentially, it's kind of like that, where he's like just looking at them and like pointing at them and like cheering them on, and it was kind of cool. It was actually really cool. Yeah, it was a good time.
Cool.
Yeah, the people out there in Wheatland, though, they have no idea what's going on. Everyone's like a burnout.
I don't even know where that is.
It's up sort of by Sacramento. It's like 2 hours away. And it's just everybody we stopped and talked to had no idea what we were supposed to do. We were supposed to find Gate C and get some parking passes, and then our friend Steve will meet us there. And he's like, we stopped at this one lady. She's like, what? Oh, we're supposed to get parking passes Gate C. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I have the radio. What? And she's like eating peanuts, like just shoveling peanuts in her mouth, and she's leaning into the car to talk to us. And I'm like, Gate C, we're supposed to get parking passes. Sure, go in. All right, so we drive up to the gate, and it's in the middle of nowhere, and this kid, he's like 16, just looks high as fuck, just totally stoned out of his gourd. Hey, man, we're supposed to pick up parking passes here. Oh, for what? For the show that you're working at, that you're working security at. Let's keep in mind. Oh, well, go ahead and drive through. And I look forward, and there's maybe 20 feet of room to drive until you're like through the gate, mowing people down in the crowd. Right?
You're driving into the concert.
I'm like, are you? Oh, cool, dude. This is really great.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. And then I went forward, and some guy came out, and I told him the story, and he looks at the kid working security. He goes, "Did you let him in here?" And he's like, "They said something about passes." The guy's like, "All right, dude, we'll get you whatever." Oh man, you missed a lot. I'm sure. How did Candy like it? Because Candy went too.
She did like it. She had a really good time.
Yeah?
Yeah. She
cut loose?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah. People were coming up and saying to her, "You were born to burn."
To burn.
Yeah.
I hate that saying.
I'd never heard it before,
Neither
but apparently
she
was
is that.
Yeah. That's her.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Tell me she's going to get a neck tattoo, like across the top of her cleavage. Born to burn.
Born to burn. Oh, man. I hope not.
And then Beardy had at least 3 costume changes every day.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
The little diva comes out of his shell.
That's a bit of an exaggeration. Doc is the one who had a new shirt every hour with a different clever saying on it.
Yeah, that's Doc's thing, for sure. Bev's not here. We have a phone. Let's just answer the phone. I don't know how to do this anymore.
I had a little report I wanted to give.
Okay.
On the.
Let's check the phone call real quick. Caller, who's this? This is the Brewing Network. You're live. See, that's why we have.
See, now I thought it was just because I didn't have headphones on.
No,
nobody heard him.
He pushed
Go
the
get
wrong
some headphones.
He pushed the wrong button.
Headphones, yeah.
What's your report, T.C.?
I went to the California Craft Beer Summit.
Yes, we want to talk about that. How was that?
The California Craft Brewer Association.
Yeah.
It was a great time.
And you went to the full deal, right? You didn't just go to the fest.
I went to the seminars and the what do you call it? The expo.
Yeah, the expo.
And it was great.
Did you go to that, Steve?
No, I didn't.
Loser.
This year, yeah.
It's pretty good. They have nice seminars, like 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon on Friday, and then 2 in the morning, and a third joint seminar after that.
And when they cool?
Yeah, they're really good. I went to.
What'd you learn?
I learned I learned a little about how to do a beer lineup.
What do you mean?
Well, how do you decide what to have, and how do you
Like at a restaurant?
How do you deal with it? Yeah,
like a bar?
In a bar.
Okay.
It's a bar. That was a thread for people that have craft beer bars, or you have a tap room or some sort of serving thing in your.
So how do you? So it's basically like, in my mind, it'd be making a mixtape. You can't have everything one like up like rock and roll, right? You have to have some peaks and some valleys and all that kind of shit.
Yeah,
right?
a lot of it was about categorizing things and making sure you have backup beers that'll make something happen down the road.
Okay,
because it's not about like you just don't order beer based on what you have a hole in the wall on.
Right.
You gotta get another. Replace the one that's pouring right now in 2 days.
You got to plan for it.
Because the distributors, you order one day and they deliver either the next or the day after. It varies by distributor, so there's some balancing.
Oh, that's cool.
And I went to a.
That sounds deep, man. That sounds like deep information. No, not like cerebral or like heady, right? But kind of deep information, deep industry information.
Yeah,
that's something you wouldn't really think about beforehand.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think you wouldn't exactly. And I think the audience was probably just looking for kind of got the information that they were looking for sure.
Good.
I was looking for something probably more technical and analytical.
Yeah,
that's just the way I think about things.
Yeah,
then I went
how to
to
physically line up the glasses.
I don't know how to do this.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, I went to another seminar on how to get a career in craft beer.
Oh, really?
But that would be good because people always ask me to find me a job.
You can do that second career.
Yeah, it's like you got overqualified, and I'm too lazy. I would not recommend myself.
No.
Yeah, and so that was pretty good. They had 3 HR or hiring managers. They do both jobs.
Okay.
One from Russian River, one from Drake's, and one from Meekeller down in San Diego.
Oh, okay.
And I thought it was a pretty good seminar. They each knew a lot about, like what to put on your resume, what not to, do's and don'ts. All very nice.
What was what was probably the most surprising do or don't?
One takeaway I got was, don't try to show your personality in the cover letter.
Oh, like don't be funny or clever.
Clever, smart, sad.
Throw a couple hop puns. I'm sure that was a do, right?
Yeah, right.
I will really hop to attention.
Yeah. God. That was one big takeaway.
Okay. Well, that sounds awesome, man.
Yeah, then I went to Jamil's. I'm going to
Okay.
I had to go. I went to Jamil's seminar on advanced home brewing.
Yeah.
It was great. He was quite ill.
Like fucking hella sick?
Cool, like the hot drizzles. And I actually was his backup. But if he couldn't finish, I was going to go and finish his seminar.
Did you just knock him out of the chair and take over?
You were his understudy.
If he falls on the podium, just roll him off. That way I won't be stepping on him.
You were his understudy.
He made that whole big joke at the beginning.
Yeah.
I know. He got a beer in him. He was fine.
Yeah.
Of course, he might have had to run to the bathroom right after.
He may have had a bag on his leg. You never know.
Yeah. And then there's one more. The final seminar was where Vinny, Natalie, and Tommy Arthur discussed the beer boom and where we are, where we're going, stuff like that.
No, they're highly qualified to discuss those.
They know that shit.
Things. What's that?
They know that stuff.
They know that stuff for sure.
My big takeaway was, as soon as weed's legalized, warehouse space, the price is going to go way up.
Warehouse space. Oh, because people are just going to be renting light industrial parks and just growing weed.
Yeah.
Is that what you're going to do when weed's legalized?
No, I don't think so.
No?
No.
Why not?
I don't know. It's not the right crowd. What are you going to do? Hang around with weed growers?
No. You just hire someone to do it, right? And you're the fund money.
But it
just
seems like the
buy-in part of it.
The buy-in part of it.
The right amount of physical labor, though. You just watch plants grow.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to know what your nutrients do, but, whatever, right?
Yeah, well, you'd have somebody.
You could do that shit.
Who does that. You'd pay them.
Right, that's what I mean,
Get
right?
your guys.
Yeah, you just got your guys.
Got your guys.
I mean, because I could save $500 by the time that shit's legal, and I'd buy in for $500. That's a lot of money for podcast salary.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like $1,000 to normal people.
That's 20%
on this side
share of the Brewing Network.
On this side of the desk, it's even worse.
Right. Well, that's cool,
All
man.
right, well, maybe we should start like a weed investment trust. We could have an own,
I would do it.
own deal
A
going.
Kickstarter.
Let's do it.
All right.
We have the logo.
A weed starter.
Yep.
Yeah, the logo, yeah, it'd just be a nug.
Right, yeah.
Just a bunch of hairs and crystals and a grenade on them.
The Nug Network.
A nug. A nug grenade.
I see where Bob Marley is putting an R&D weed research center in Santa Rosa.
God, you know what? That guy's fucking amazing, right? Like, he stopped making music in the early 80s, disappeared. Now he's back. He has coffee and tea and energy drinks and weed now.
Does, I think.
I thought he
insane.
died. The family's trying to live off.
Yeah.
What?
Who's been dead?
Bob Marley?
Oh.
Yeah, the throat cancer.
No, skin cancer. He didn't have throat cancer. No.
Balls?
No, toe, actually. It started on his toe.
Huh.
No. Weird, right?
Well, yeah.
This is a mixed race thing. It's a weird thing. How was the
festival itself?
Yeah,
it's great. It's huge.
It was, no, his dad was a white guy. And that's what they blamed. I read the book.
That was
Catch
the
a
kiss
Fire,
of death right there.
I guess it ran in his dad's family, and that was where it came from.
Lesson learned, everybody.
Anyway, how was the festival?
Yeah, get a bad toe, lose it.
How was the festival?
It was great. Great.
So this was the festival with all the California beers.
All California, 165 breweries pouring about 450 beers.
Okay.
And it was just great.
How many did you get?
How many did I get? I probably had 15 different ones.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I don't move around enough. I'm like,
I don't move around enough.
Stand in front of one place.
You got guys, send them out.
Well, what happens is I'll see people and they want to hang and they don't want to move either. I mean, they want to stay where they're at. I don't know.
Well, like pouring, they're pouring their own beer. Yeah,
rather
okay.
than visiting a festival.
Yeah.
It's different.
That's
all
cool.
the brewers are there because they're there for the conference.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's a great meetup of people from all over California.
Well, it sounds great.
Yeah.
Sounds great. I should go next year. I didn't get to go.
I'd recommend it for everybody to go. It's a lot of fun.
Okay, can we do feedback now? Doc is he's itching. He's chomping at the bit for here's some feedback. Okay,
Start reading.
This is from someone called Atlas.
Good. Bring a lot on his shoulders.
Yeah. I'm at work listening to Extract to All Grain episode from 2006. As Justin goes to break, he plays an extended version of Touch the Velvet, which is actually it's Touch the Felt. And it's awesome. Please let us newer folks in on where this came from. Love the show and keep it going.
Maybe Touch the Velvet is the longer version.
I haven't heard that in a long time.
I haven't heard that in a long time either. I don't think he even carried it over on his computer. Doc, you want to clue everybody in on where that came from?
Well, we had Vinny was in the studio, and Crazy Jack was in there, and he had his puppet and felt puppet, and he was just
that's where we 86'd him.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Well, he came around. He was touching everybody with the puppet, hand puppet, and stuff, and
it was a puppet of Vinny.
Yeah. It was the Vinny puppet.
The Vinny puppet.
And so, and he made a felt. And so, was it the next week? Who made up the song?
I want to think it's Push because it was pretty good, but maybe not.
Yeah, but it was one of our listeners. They made up the song.
Yeah,
called "Touch the Felt."
It was a dance mix.
It was a dance mix. Touch the felt, touch the felt, and then
I just tried to look online. I can't find it. It's not online.
Really?
Yeah,
it's nowhere.
It's nowhere. And
Push can't even pull it up.
Well, I don't know. I don't have the direct pipeline. I don't have the direct pipeline to him. Yeah.
Just get him in there.
It was a good one. It was a good song. I mean, it was a shitty song. Let's be honest, but
it was apropos for the moment. It really was.
I think that was one of our first listener created things.
Yeah,
that was kind of cool.
Yeah, and they sent it in, and Crazy Jack was actually was back that week.
So there you go, Atlas. Crazy Jack, a crazy listener, made a puppet of Vinny. I think not on the first Vinny show, but anyway. This is from Casey. He says, hey there, first of all, I love the shows, and as a fairly new listener, I'm having fun catching up on the session, Dr. Homebrew, and Brewing with Style. Hey, all shows I'm on. I found this article today about some gypsy brew in Connecticut with the next great hazy IPA from the Northeast. As a New Yorker, I have access to some of these beers, and some examples I have enjoyed, and others I have not. I think it's a wide spectrum, but the picture in the post is nothing I'd ever want to drink, and with them not able to control the quality within a single batch, what's the point in spending my money on it? Also, the guy seems like a tool by his use of social media. Thanks for all the great content. Don't pick on B.V.O. too much.
So we can a little.
Yeah. You're right, but we just got to know that line, apparently.
I'm not good with lines.
No. Well, some lines.
Certain lines.
Certain lines.
Don't cross those lines.
So there you go. And he links an article about, I don't know, Northeast IPA that I didn't read. But anyway, thanks for the thing, Casey. This is from Paul, and he is in Sydney. He says, "Greetings, cretins. Love the sesh. Glad you guys have put the show out for all of us to enjoy here in the Southern Hemisphere down in Australia. I've been following the session and the sour on the BN for a few years now. Invaluable info all around for all of us homebrewers going from intermediate to advanced. I'm also glad to hear in the last podcast that you're starting to chill a bit on the Vermont IPAs and embrace more change in the craft beer world. That is not what I said.
No.
It's
no
silly.
embracing.
It's silly for anyone in craft beer to hate on someone else's style they love. We all have our favorites. Just like here in Australia, they embrace the U.S. hoppy styles, but still pine for the old Aussie brews as well. So it's always a bit of a middle ground here. I do think there's room for everyone. I love all of it. Lagers, ale, stouts, and everything from IPL to triple IPA. It's all good. I even do think there's room for some cheap macro beer here. VB and Tui's New are two of the most popular cheap lagers in Australia, and compared to Miller Lite and Coors, they are like Russian Imperial Stouts. So it's all good down under. We saw Tasty here a few years back in Sydney. We would love to see some more of you blokes down here as well. Keep up the good beer radio work. Cheers, Paul. Steve, what's your take on the cloudy IPA deal that's happening?
I had a feeling that question was going to come up.
Why?
I don't know. It just seems like it's fucking everywhere.
Well, most people take the Fifth Amendment on this.
Really?
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
being
a good
recorded.
excuse. I mean, if that's an option, I should take
It's not. No, it's not an option. Don't listen to the man behind the curtain. Stop it.
Constitution doesn't apply here.
Everybody else has here.
I don't know. I'm not really a fan at all. A lot of the Vermont, New England IPAs, is that where most of them are coming out of?
Yeah.
Sure.
Something like that. I just haven't been a fan of the beers, but I'm not normally a fan of the style anyways, so it just hasn't been something I've been...
Of the IPA style in general?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And seeing so many of them, it's just kind of like, I don't know. I think it's a trend. I think it's going to die down soon.
Yeah, we've talked about it a little bit like it's like the black IPA of this year's black IPA.
It seems like that to
So
me.
what he's alluding to, we had field work on last week.
Okay.
And we talked a lot about cloudy IPAs. And kind of the differences between cloudy and hazy, and because their beers have some haze, but he's like, but they wouldn't really call them cloudy beers. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tasty. And,
Yeah, more hazy.
because there's no gunk and sediment, and that's what they didn't understand. But there is kind of room for the like we're drinking your beer here. What beer is this? This
super hazy. This is Stone-O-Matic.
Stone-O-Matic.
Yeah.
Delicious, by the way. It's a Saison Brett dry hop.
It's actually a wheat beer base with a wheat beer yeast. So
Okay.
I feel
so
that
totally wrong.
according to that, it's pretty close to style.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Haze.
And so some of the beers we were talking about from fieldwork weren't like this, but they were like, we engineer that very carefully to present some sort of mouthfeel, and so what I was saying was like, I don't kill me, Warren.
I'm ready.
Because we've put the knife down.
For what?
Well, I was saying that coming from that angle, I understand. Like, he wasn't saying like, oh, it's just a little flour and whatever. Like, there's a lot of cellar work to like put it out at the right time, so it's the right amount of kind of haze in there, and turbidity, I think, is what he was really more saying on. So I was like, okay, there's no gunk. If you let it sit for an hour, it's not going to settle out. And I think that's kind of where we've railed on a lot of people in the past, and the fieldwork guys were kind of saying the same thing. Like, if you have to decant your beer first and it's not bottle conditioned, it just has crap in it, that might be a little too much.
I think the haze still would settle out over time, even in a beer like what they have. But that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah. Right.
It's more than just the technical issues that I have with it. Like, I don't like that really big mouthfeel.
I don't like
all
it
those
either.
And all the proteins and all that stuff in the IPA style.
Yeah.
And so
it's a clash for me. It seems very weird.
Yeah, they don't go together.
No.
It seems to look great in a picture is what I see.
Oh,
just
God, it looks
Instagram
terrible.
Pictures everywhere.
They're everywhere, right?
It looks like orange juice or whatever, you know what I mean? Some kind of fruit juice next to the can, and it's, I don't know. It seems to be like a trend, like some kind of marketing idea or something. That's
We'll
my
see.
opinion.
We'll see.
It's juicy IPA.
It's juicy. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. That's the term I always hear. Juicy. Yeah.
Okay, and then finally, for feedback, our spam of the week. We haven't had one in a while. This is from Gretchen Villarreal, and she says, "Hi, feedback. Columbus told me you have lost some of last month's utility bills, so I'm sending you the copies saved in my computer. Let me know if I sent the right receipts. Best regards."
Okay.
Fucking Columbus, dude, can't keep anything straight. Can't keep it straight. Thought he was in somewhere else. He really landed somewhere else. Now he's saying that we have bills that we don't have.
Vermont.
I thought it was fucked up, dude.
Probably way past due.
He didn't want a social security number or anything?
Just send a blank check.
Probably way past due. I think you got that right, Doc. All right, I think we've caught up on everybody, what everybody's doing. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk more with Steve from Shady Oak Barrel House, learn about all sorts of funky crap that he's doing. It's The Session. Stay tuned. We'll be right back, everybody.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. Brewcasters on the Brewing Network.
The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
Do you like beer? They make beer.
Watch out!
Do you like friends and fun? They make friends and fun.
Watch out!
Do you still like to have a good time? The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
The 21st Amendment in San Francisco, located at 563 2nd Street, 2 blocks from the building where baseball is seen and played. Try their beers in the pub or try them in the can, featuring Monk's Blood, made with real monk.
Watch out!
So why not have the best time of your life? Go to the 21A and Sean O'Sullivan will personally greet you with a can of Monk's Blood. The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
This advertisement is not in any way affiliated nor associated with the 21st Amendment Bar and Pub, nor its subsidiaries or affiliates. This telecast is not copywritten by the 21st Amendment for the private use of the Brewing Network. Any use of this telecast without Jamil Zainashev's consent is prohibited. Suck it, JP.
The Vault, created by White Labs. The Vault is a collection of new, creative, and unique yeast strains from around the world. These strains have never been available to homebrewers. Most have not even been available to professionals. You have the power to release the yeast. Through The Vault, White Labs is giving you the power to decide which strains are put into production and giving you the opportunity to brew with these strains. Visit whitelabs.com/The Vault and pre-order the yeast strain of your choice and encourage your friends to do the same. Once 250 pre-orders have been achieved, White Labs will put that strain into production. The strain will be mailed directly to your doorstep, ready to make the beer you've always wanted to brew. This program was created with the homebrewer in mind. White Labs is relying on you to help release these strains, which may blaze the way for future new and unique beers. Help release the yeast. Visit whitelabs.com/The Vault.
Brewing great beer is a process of continuous learning, and the best books on every aspect of brewing can be found at Brewers Publications, with more than 50 awesome titles like Modern Homebrew Recipes by Gordon Strong, Designing Great Beers, the Ultimate Guide to Brewing Classic Beer Styles by Ray Daniels, American Sour Beers, Innovative Techniques for Mixed Fermentations by Michael Tonsmeyer, For the Love of Hops, The Practical Guide to Aroma, Bitterness, and the Culture of Hops by Stan Hieronymus, and Radical Brewing, Recipes, Tales, and World-Altering Meditations in a Glass by Randy Mosher, plus many, many more. These are the books and the authors with the knowledge to push your brewing farther than you thought possible. And you'll find them all at fine homebrew and book retailers everywhere. And visit the website at brewerspublications.com. Brewers Publications, all the best on beer and brewing.
Since the first time the Brewing Network microphones turned on, More Beer was behind it. More Beer sponsors the programming on the BN because, like you, they love brewing. And like the Brewing Network, they love sharing their knowledge. Morebeer.com isn't just a website to place your next equipment or ingredient order. Morebeer.com also gives you access to free beer information that will make you a better brewer. Go to morebeer.com and click into the Learning Center. You'll find podcasts, technical facts, video tutorials, and more, including access to The Buzz, More Beer's social network of more than 5,000 members. And some of them might even be crazier about beer than you are. Get over to morebeer.com today and take advantage of The Buzz, the forum, the Learning Center, and make sure you're signed up to receive the newest More Beer catalog. More Beer, bringing you absolutely everything for beer making.
Marin Brewing Company in Northern California has been making award-winning beers for more than 25 freaking years. Today, I want to tell you about their new 12-ounce cans of Mount Tam Pale Ale. The good stuff. Mount Tam is bright gold, 5.5% ABV to keep you feeling good, and has been winning awards since 1989. If you're visiting the Bay Area, get your butt out to Marin Brewing Company. They pour tasty beers and serve great food every day until midnight. Come in for a tour, stay for the food, and pick up a 6-pack of cans of Mount Tam Pale Ale to enjoy at home, camping, biking, or whatever the hell you do. Owner Brendan Moylan has this to say about Marin Brewing beers.
It's freaking awesome.
Marin Brewing has won more than 100 gold medals in international competitions. Check out marinbrewing.com for all their award-winning beers, food, and merch. Marin Brewing Company in Larkspur, California. Award-winning taste, refreshing finish. It's freaking awesome.
Brewcasters are back.
888-401 beer.
Whatever.
All right, thanks for sticking with us, everybody. Throw a few songs in there to kind of, I don't know, let us relax, let us chill out. Before we get to Steve, I do want to tell you guys about our fine friends at Great Fermentations. They have the largest catalog of Blickman products on the web. They provide same-day shipping on some main items that most vendors can take up to 3 weeks to get to you, which is, that's not very cool. Their staff, is some of the best trained in using the Blickman products that they sell, which is always very important. You got to know what it is you're selling. They also offer top-notch customer service. Like them on Facebook at GR8 Fermentation to be notified of more deals like the one the one I don't have on my live read, which is a cool live read. We can also be found on Instagram and Twitter at GR8 Fermentation. Bev, just help me remind whoever is a sponsor for Great Fermentations that this copy is the worst piece of trash.
I will help you with that.
Make sure to like us on Facebook to be notified of more deals like this in the future. Like what, asshole? Not the Great Fermentations, but the internally, whoever is the ad manager for Great Fermentations on the BN side needs to be writing the copy so it makes sense.
I agree.
And it doesn't sound like I just fucking hit my head.
Justin rant right now.
A little bit,
And I also
guess,
just want to point out that this is not my sponsor.
No, it's not my sponsor either. But, I'm only making them sound like idiots, and that's not cool. We don't like to do that. So whoever wrote this copy and put it out for the host to read is the biggest piece of shit I've ever worked with in my entire life. Steve! Yeah. What's up, buddy?
What's happening?
How you doing, man?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm all right. I'm good, man. I'm looking at your bottle. So we just cracked a bottle of something called Funkatronic, which is an India Pale Ale ish with Brettanomyces, and it's doing the little spittle. No, don't worry about it. No, let them hang out. We're having a meltdown of a show. Bev is
awesome.
Going out and getting all of our hosts.
I'm so glad to be here for a meltdown.
Me too, man. It's so good.
Get one of those.
There you go.
Thank you so much. So yeah, Funkatronic.
So what is
was
this?
Probably, I think it was my second release. So the bottle you're looking at there was bottled, I think, around November of 2014. It went out to distribution. And it's since gone. I just had a few cases saved up at the Barrel House that I thought
No, don't pour it
would
for
be
them.
a fun thing to bring.
If they want to be part of the show, they can be. They'll get their own beer. Don't worry about it, Bev. You have your own work to do.
I hope you're not talking about us.
Oh, I am.
I hope you're not.
I do have my own work to do.
I am.
You're right.
Anyway, so this is from 2014.
Yeah, that's when I brewed it.
All right, Doc. 2014. That's good. So, okay, we've talked on the show before about the IPA style not lasting very long. Why make an IPA if you're going to age it?
Yeah.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Wonderful question.
Thank you very much. Very subtle too.
Very subtle. I don't want to ever say the word never for things I'm going to do for the brewery, but with that being said, I've never intended to make an IPA. However,
thank you for that, by the way.
You are very welcome. However, I do like hops quite a lot. There's a lot of wonderful ways to use them.
Yeah.
And I love the interplay with dry hopping and Brettanomyces, especially when it comes to bottle conditioning. And frankly, I had it on the label. It said, Hoppy Farmhouse was the first thing it said on the label, and then the feds told me that they wanted it to say the word India Pale Ale. So that was not my choice.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know. But it did end
really
up
like
making
they said hey, you need to put IPA on
yes,
there.
Oh, there are hops in this? It's an IPA.
Yeah.
Essentially, that's the rule.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, which I know everybody else gets away with just fine, but they wanted me to do it. So I have to call it an IPA. And, that doesn't help on the or doesn't hurt it on the shelf, but it's not in any sense an IPA.
Those are the three best letters to have on a beer label.
Pretty much.
Right.
Like, it's a stout. Oh, no, it's a black IPA. It's a porter. No, it's a brown IPA. Just whatever IPA.
Why don't you just say not A and in small letters, and then just let IPA be there?
I like that idea, actually. An
IPA with bread.
Next one, yeah.
It is kind of amazing, like how much those three letters can sell a beer. We have a friend who I don't want to air his laundry or whatever, so I'm not going to say what brewery he wants, but he has a dry hop saison that he just called a dry hop saison, and someone called it a dry hop session IPA, farmhouse session IPA
farmhouse
or some shit,
IPA,
and sold like 20% more of it. So he's like, well, fuck. All right, I'm poor. I own a brewery, so I'm going to call it that now.
It totally works. It was one of those things I just never thought happened actually that way, but it absolutely does. When you got IPA on there, it's gone.
That'll kill IPA. We'll call everything IPA.
It's a porter IPA, dude.
Yeah, exactly. It's fucking
on
ridiculous.
nitro.
You don't know what it is.
On nitro,
Done. Every beer at the brewery now. IPA.
IPA.
Yeah.
Baltic IPA.
Yeah.
Baltic IPA. I love it.
IPAs.
Yeah. Let's back up a little bit, Steve.
Yeah.
So let's get into your personal history. Years ago, our hardcore fans will know this. We had a terrible TV show called B.Y.O.B. TV.
It was wonderful.
It was amazing.
It got nominated for awards.
It did. The Taste Award.
Yeah.
Taste Award.
Yeah.
It didn't win.
No, it didn't win. But we spent a lot of money on suits to go down there. That was the year. No, and then, we got to see Brian Shaw sing karaoke to New York, New York.
I missed that.
Wow.
Yeah, we went
fucking
out
kidding me?
afterwards. Yeah.
I wish those guys were
that
here,
was-
man.
that didn't
That'd be
make
so
sense.
much
So did
fun.
I, and so they're like giving me shit because I put on Facebook a half an hour before the show started. Like, well, why don't you let me know beforehand, bitch? I'm not a PR firm.
Yeah,
all right, come on,
But
assholes.
I feel that's what you do.
Yeah.
Isn't social media your thing?
No,
Oh.
no, not for a while.
Not for the Brewing Network, but
Yeah.
in general.
But I don't care.
Oh, okay.
I was busy playing Destiny today. Anyways,
Yes.
he's an amazing singer. When he's like, whenever I do karaoke, it's always New York, New York. Just like you're the weirdest cat.
Is he really a good singer?
No.
Oh,
I wouldn't imagine.
You could see that.
His wife was recording it though. I wonder if they still have it. Anyway, so Steve won B.Y.O.B. right?
Yeah.
Whoa.
When was that?
I don't know.
It meant a lot
I
to
can't
him.
remember. Yeah, I can't remember either when it
was that?
When did that happen?
2009,
4 years.
10.
Look up his IMDb.
Yeah, right.
I'll tell you what's on my IMDb, that's for sure. Wow, there's something called 2000. See, okay. TV series. 2011, apparently.
2011.
Yeah.
Wow, that's not that long ago.
Are you famous enough to not have to pay for your IMDb?
No. No, you can get it for free, and then if you
really?
want to have a bunch of shit, you have to pay for it.
Oh.
So 2011, man.
Yeah, that's what it was. Okay.
And so the
ago.
winner got what did you get? The winner got tell me about that. I
Okay,
forget.
so the prize was a trip to Pilsen, to Pilsner Kel, and it was I guess round trip airfare for two people to Pilsner Kel.
Yeah.
You get to stay at their hotel or their inn or whatever that's attached to it for 3 or 4 days, and then
the Motel 6,
basically,
Yeah.
and then a flight out of there. And I don't know, the first few days in the show, like probably by the maybe second filming session, it's kind of like, I wonder if it's legal to turn in the prize winnings for money. And I looked it up, and totally, you have to do that. In the
Convert
state of
that shit to
California.
cash, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, think about it. You're watching Bob Barker selling a trip to an L.A. kid to go to fucking Disneyland.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got to
Yeah.
offer them the cash equivalent.
Yeah.
So I looked that up because it's like, I'm not against going to Czechoslovakia. That sounds great. But I don't want to go just there and then come home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you're in Europe, would you want to come to St. Louis and hang out for 3 days and then peace out? And
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah, exactly.
We have to get to
Maybe.
St. Louis first.
Right. But
There's an
you know,
arch?
As I've heard that before, yeah. But you know, with somebody without
It's more of an
a lot
arc.
of money
Oh.
or anything like that, it was just kind of like I would rather go back to Europe when I have the time, the energy, the money to go and stay there and go wander around and go to Belgium.
See,
and a
that's
lot of
that's
other
my
places.
deal too, man. I don't.
I don't
there's
wanna go
people
to
who
one
go
city for
like
3 days.
yeah, for like a week even. Like that's
Yeah.
too. I can't do it. There's
Yeah.
no way.
I'm
I'd
not gonna
rather
sit
not
on-
go.
So
Yeah.
have you gone to
That
Europe
was-
since?
I have been. I was before that when I was
okay.
younger. Yeah, but since no, definitely not.
Well, maybe you should have gone.
Yeah.
So you
took
cashed it in for the
I
prize
cashed it
money.
in. I paid off some student loan bills.
There you go.
I gave some to who is now my ex-wife. And then the rest of it I spent on. Oh no, it's hilarious.
How much was this trip
Fucking
worth?
hilarious.
Right, yeah. And the rest of it was spent on some homebrew equipment.
Yeah, dude.
You know, basically some stainless steel and you know, fancy things like
Some
that.
valves
Blickman-
and crap.
Yeah, some Blickman stuff, things like that.
There
Things
you
that
go.
Were super fun. You know, I was really glad I got them, but you know, she took a very large chunk of it. So,
They tend to do that.
yeah, I've noticed.
Yeah.
Well, that's
I'm
cool,
still
man. I like
noticing.
that.
I'm in
Yeah.
the middle of noticing.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's rough, man.
That's awesome, dude. So
Yeah.
after your stardom and after the wave of famousness dies down, because I'm sure you couldn't go out in your
Oh, yeah.
your
Right,
city.
yeah. No, it was-
get mobbed.
yeah.
It was all like the Beatles when they first came to town.
Couldn't go to the mall.
Obviously,
Can't go
yeah.
to the mall ever.
Yeah,
We talked about strip
and I
mall.
used to go there
Yeah.
all the time. Anytime I went into Hot Topic, I was just like, you know,
Yeah, you can't go
get
to the
into Hot
Subway
Topic.
get
Yeah,
a
it was
sandwich
bummer,
anymore.
man.
No.
They put you right to the front.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, the guy making the
It's a
sandwich
real
was like, you like American cheese? Like, fuck, I can't even. God, just
Yeah.
forget who I am.
And it totally happened constantly. And I had to get rushed away in limos, and yeah, it was.
That's amazing for you.
It was brutal.
Yeah.
Anybody have to take a bullet?
Few people, yeah.
Silver bullet.
Yeah, I don't remember their names now.
They're forgotten.
Mainly because they're dead. No, so after that,
Yeah. What happened to you? What happened to you?
happened to you? After that,
Where was that guy we liked?
yeah.
You're so humble.
Not too much long. So let's see. At the time of the show, I was working as a wine lab tech.
Okay.
I had been for a few years at that point, and I kept going for a few years. And in addition to that, I was finishing a bullshit degree, a liberal arts major, that I wasn't going to do anything with.
That one on your parents?
What's that?
That one on your parents?
Is that one on my parents?
Yeah.
What do you mean, like
The bullshit, like, nothing degree.
I think
What do you
he's,
mean, like,
he's
as in they
asking
paid
if
for it?
if
Get
they
it?
made you
Yeah,
take
did
a
you-
liberal arts degree.
No, nothing like that. It was just, you know, honestly, I was really good at getting blackout drunk and writing papers. And I'd wake up in the morning, and there'd be little Post-it notes on my computer, and it would be like, "Hey, Steve, you wrote this great paper. I already printed it out. Love, Steve." And so I was like, "Oh, I can get away with being an English major. This is easy."
You wrote notes to yourself
Yeah.
in black.
Yeah.
You're like Mr. Robot.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
all right.
something like that. So,
Looking good today, Steve.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it was.
Oh, yeah.
great.
Check in your left pocket.
Yeah, it was. Yes, it was stuff like that. So more than anything, it was.
Wait, I can't get over that.
What? It was easy for me, so I got
You
away
wrote
with it.
notes to yourself to non-blackout drunk Steve.
Yeah, totally.
You are the best person I can think of to open a brewery.
Aw, such a peach. Thank you so much. Yeah,
He's a natural.
Yeah, well, I
love
mean,
that
it's a
story.
liberal arts major. We got to be involved in alcohol somehow.
That's true. You found all the ways.
Pretty much. So let's see. Where were we after that? Then finally, I did an intelligent thing and got divorced, which was a great thing to do. I was a very angry person back when I was married, and
Okay.
I didn't. It's one of those things where you don't realize it until you're out of it, kind of thing.
Okay.
You know. So got out of that and was still working. And at the time, I was working still as a wine lab tech. And in addition to that, I was also brewing a little bit on the commercial level, and started cooking up this idea of like, you know, I work with barrels all the time. I've been home brewing for 1,000 years. Let's put all of this to good use at once. I don't have anybody to support. I don't have anyone to bitch at me. Fuck it. Let's go for it.
Okay.
So I decided to
That's
kind of
my
put...
mantra when I wake up in the morning.
Good. Oh, that's
Just like
beautiful.
that. Just
yeah,
like
so you
that.
wake up every day with a smile on your face.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, fuck it. Let's go for it. Oh, I love it. That's great. So that was, I mean, you know, in the, you know, the quickest, easiest way to sum it up, that's kind of what I did. I just wanted to see, well, there's this one thing I've been doing for as long as I can remember that I've always been really happy about, that I've always really loved. I've always been a geek for fermentation. There were times, back in the day I would be, when I was married or whatever, we'd be just ridiculously broke and poor and all these things, but I would still find a way to scrimp up enough money to brew a batch. I was always doing it, no matter what happened.
Yeah.
And that to me just said a lot. It was like, this is something you should look into more. And that's when I was decided, just like, no, this is the way to go.
Because you had that drive. No matter what, nothing was going to stop you from fucking around a little bit.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I felt. And it just felt like at the time, like, this is something, if you don't do it now, you're going to get some shithead job and do this for another 20, 30 years, and then go when you're 50, like, oh, man, it'd be cool to try to start a brewery. A lot of the smaller breweries in Sonoma County that I know are started up by people that kind of did that. And I would rather do it when I had the energy.
Right.
I didn't want to be, 50, 60 and then trying it. That just seemed like a bad idea.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's basically how it went,
So you have this idea. So let's tell everybody what Shady Oak Barrel House is. Because it's not a brewery. You're very clear on that.
Yeah, very clear. So
what are you doing over there?
So I don't own a brewing system. I use different Sonoma County brewers' brewing systems. And on some of them I do the brewing myself, and some of them they won't let me brew there because of insurance policies, things like that. I would prefer to get my hands in there, but I just can't everywhere. Yeah.
See, I think that would be great.
Yeah. No, the brewing part, that's the fun part. So basically,
the fun part is nothing you have at your place at all.
yeah, basically. No, I have fun at my part too, and
for sure.
And that's the other main part of the job is most of it is cleaning barrels and fixing barrels and recouping barrels and searching for barrels, and then also filling barrels and tasting the blends. And to me, it's more of a blendery more than anything. And that's kind of what I always wanted it to be. A lot of the time I spent at the winery was working, as the winemaker's bitch. We want you to put together a blend of X, Y, and Z. And they'd give me a list of, however many mils of 50 different barrels. And I'd be sitting in there running through the caves, and I did this for years, and tasting every little component. And I'd start getting to the point where I could taste like, oh, I see what they're after. Oh, this gets more of this compound, whatever it was. Didn't matter.
So you were building your palate.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah,
okay.
And it had already been built in the brewer sense, but never, and I don't want to mean wine sense, but I guess more with oak and oak influence. And any winery, there's plenty of Brett down there. You know what I mean? There was so much Brett. And I tended to, kind of lean towards the ones that were the breadier barrels, and they kind of liked me as the Brett sniffer, I guess is the term. I don't know. Sure. I mean, they used me. It's like, oh, we think it has Brett. Send Steve down there kind of thing. Be like, oh, this is great. Can I have it? And they'd be like, no, we're dumping it. It's like, oh,
they wouldn't give it to you?
No, they wouldn't do it. No, it was so sad. And then I'd ask for the barrel, and they'd be like, no. Yeah.
What are they going to do with it? So they dump the wine on the wine side. What do you do with it? You have a barrel. I would imagine you chop it up and give it away.
Well, so at the time, it was a winery that was owned by a very big multinational corporation that also owned distilleries. And so what they would do is they would take these and send them to a distillery.
Oh, okay.
And they're just going to put 80% whatever in there, so it doesn't matter to them.
Okay.
So that alcohol content would shut the Brett down, and then they could just get the oak flavor out of it?
I mean, I never went to the other side of the distillery, but I assumed so. I mean, I couldn't imagine Brett surviving that long in an 80% kind of solution, or cask strength even, 90s, whatever it would
it's
be.
even higher,
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't imagine it surviving there, but... who knows? I always remember the steamers that we used to clean. They would always talk about how it went to 3 or 4 mils deep, and I'd read a book, and it's like, well, it says here Brett can go to 5 mils deep. So,
right.
And they're like, no, Brett, you probably brought the Brett in here. And I'm like, no.
So now
I
it's your fault.
You dicks. It was on the wood that you bought, So I always got in trouble for that. So I don't know. I got to a point where I realized I wasn't going to be able to stay in the wine industry too long. Plus, I also don't like wine. It just doesn't taste good to me. It's never been anything I've ever been interested in.
Okay.
But I did like playing with the barrels. I did like working in the lab. I did like being able to do, cell counts and identifying Brett or whatever under a microscope. That was a fucking blast. I loved it. But as far as the end product went, I could care less about wine. It just didn't do it for me.
Well, so how do you? Forgive me for the weird question, but how do you decide that you're going to follow your passion? You're clearly tuned into what you really like to do. And I know you mentioned, like, you have no wife, you have nobody to really kind of report to.
Right.
Was that really all it is? Because I know there's a lot of people out there who are in the same position. They know what they love doing, but they haven't figured out yet how to just talk themselves into doing the thing, whatever it is.
Is
that weird?
No, it's not. No, it's not weird at all. It's
I can make
one
it weird.
that. Please do.
Okay.
It's hard to answer. For me, there wasn't a long kind of, distraught fucking spirit journey or anything about it. I just realized I got to this point where you were very passionate about these things, but you're not working in it, and you don't have anything to be responsible anymore for. And I don't know. To me, I felt like I was going to be working for so long, potentially in an industry where I didn't care about the product, that I said, fuck it. Let's find a way to earn a paycheck from doing what you love. I've yet to earn a paycheck, but, still, like, it was something that I really wanted to do. And so, I can't describe it as some kind of, long drawn out kind of process of thinking that. If for me, it was just like, I don't want to do this shit anymore. I want to find a way to hopefully at least someday pay the bills with doing what I like to do.
Okay.
So it was kind of simple as that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
It helps, yeah.
So you don't have a brewery.
I don't own a brewing system.
No, you don't have a brewing. Yeah, you don't own a brewing system.
Yeah, I still have a Type 23. Just like
you are legally a brewery.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, and that's what you have to do for the. Okay.
Yeah, because where I make the beer, the wort, where I make it, nothing's fermented.
Yeah.
It transfers over to my place where it ferments. So as far as the ABC calls it and the feds, it is a brewery in every sense of the way.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I'm just transferring unfermented, sugary, malty juice, whatever you want to call it. Between the two. Otherwise it is a brewery.
Okay. Yeah. And that had to have helped with your overhead. I mean, because those systems are $250,000, $300,000.
Well, depending on the size, at least.
Depending on the size,
something like that.
Yeah. So I started off in 30-barrel batches.
Oh yeah, you're not getting a 30-barrel brew house for $250,000.
I know. I'm thinking
what is it?
Minimum half a mil.
Oh yeah,
really?
Starting is half a mil.
Yeah.
For a production 30-barrel system.
Exactly.
Back in my day, Tasty.
Back in my day.
Right?
They didn't make 30s. What are you talking
Shit, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
so,
15, you were a big deal.
It avoided a lot of overhead. And so essentially, like, it's called, Shady Oak Barrel House, and literally what I have is a barrel house. It is a warehouse full of barrels and some blending tanks and bottling equipment and all sorts of other shit, but not a brewing system.
Was it just from a budgetary standpoint that you didn't want a brewing system, or was it a different way to approach what you wanted to do?
It was a combination of both. Most of what I wanted to do was sour or definitely barrel-aged, things that would take a lot of time. And to me, most of what happens, the variations in the beer, happens after it's done in the barrel kind of thing.
What do you mean, like after you blend it together, you put it in the bottle, and then it starts doing its thing?
You want to dry hop this batch of, year and a half old sour. You want to, put apricots in this one, whatever.
Okay.
That all happens after the brewing is done. So, and, in sour brewing, you're going to lose barrels, too. So I wanted to do 30-barrel batches, which essentially fills, if you do the math, roughly 15 wine barrels. And that way I had blending options as well as, in case I lost one, and I could do a few different batches with it. So it just kind of made sense that way. In addition to that, it was one person running the ship, and it still is. And, that gets hectic. But because of that, I can't brew nonstop. I'm not brewing 3 or 4 times a week, so I'm brewing bigger batches less frequently. And that's a way that it just worked out for one person to be able to do everything else in a brewery because, believe it or not, the lesson I just learned, and I didn't know at the time, is at a brewery, you're brewing 10% of the time or 20% of the time. That's not the majority of what you do if you own a brewery. So,
what are you doing on your side?
Just hanging out.
Yeah,
yeah,
playing fucking Pokemon.
What is pretty much? Yeah. It's a lot.
What's most of your day?
Most of my day is basically I'm a janitor. 90% of the time, it's always cleaning barrels, always checking on barrels.
Okay.
I'm always looking, going around to different wineries and checking up on new barrels. I'm cracking the heads of these things, scraping them out, recouping them in a lot of cases.
Oh, you're doing all that shit in-house.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Unless I think the barrel's good, to go.
Have you gotten a wood boring beetle? infestation
I
yet?
haven't seen one yet, but I was at a winery the other day where they said they had them, and I fucking ran.
Oh, it's such a pain in the ass.
I was like, nope.
Yeah.
I didn't want anything to do with it. So no,
That's how winemakers look to you, I think,
exactly.
now, right?
That's,
For the bread.
That was actually,
get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, as they call me, Shady Steve, and I thought that was fucking hilarious because it was like, that's probably how it comes off to them. So, but no, I haven't seen any yet. In addition to that, a lot of just cleaning everything else, the paperwork, the accounting, the sales, because as far as Sonoma County goes, I'm the salesperson too, and just so many little things in between all of that just brewing alone is not something I could be doing full time.
Yeah,
at least on my own.
How long did it take you to open up there? You're Santa Rosa proper, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. How long is that process from, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to start the paperwork? Because we've heard a lot of horror stories on the brewing side.
Yeah.
And I would imagine you're somewhere in between, but I don't know. If you have the same license, maybe not.
I do have the same license. It probably took about 6 months. However, keep in mind that assumes I don't have a tasting room and I'm not open to the public. So, you know what I mean? Like, as a one-person show, I couldn't do that.
Are those like the kind of the biggest knot holes in most other places? Because we hear people a year. 18 months.
I haven't opened a tasting room yet, so I don't know for sure. But
Okay.
I'm assuming that has a lot to do with it. I mean, are you opening a tasting room right now?
Oh, we just
Beardy?
opened up a brew pub down in Los Gatos.
And do you have open to the public kind of thing?
Yeah, it's a full service restaurant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
I would imagine that would take some time.
It was a lot. It took about. Well, from when they got the keys, it took about 18 months.
Okay.
Wow. There was a lot. It's a really old building, and so it was one of those things you peel a wall off, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Here's another $50,000 that I got to throw into this wall.
Yeah.
And that also changed the plans for how the brewery got laid out and everything else,
Right.
and so lots of redrawing.
I think for me, I'd heard so many horror stories like that, that I wanted to make this as easy as possible. I was scared shitless of running into something where all of a sudden the city was like, no, we want you to do whatever dumb, ridiculous thing, and we're going to charge you $1 million for it. I was really afraid of that happening. And I was starting this as minimal as possible. So now it went fairly quick and fairly smooth and as straightforward as possible. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that I didn't have a brewing system. My location, I didn't have to worry about, the wastewater and the discharge and things like that. So
really?
Yeah.
Even though you're fermenting there, which I would imagine is a lot of...
Totally.
Yeah?
And it absolutely is. But I just, I put most of my waste in IBCs, things like that, and just put it up on the side. And
what are those?
The industrial bulk containers.
Okay, like plastic, big plastic
people use them
deals.
to transfer wort, and people age wine in them and all sorts of stuff.
Okay.
I know a guy in the city who ferments mead in them. But they look at that and they said it's fine. One of the things I did was I made sure to time it out. There's this Sonoma County Economic Development Report, and it comes out about a month or two after applying to the younger releases, where it's just all glittery numbers for the city and the county. So I timed out when I went to go and submit to the city right after that happened. So they all thought, we're going to make a bunch of money for
really.
Stuff like that. So I seriously took that into consideration when the report was coming out, and as when to go and submit and apply for it,
and be like, hey, look, this is what I'm contributing to.
Yeah,
I want to do another one of these.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking Shady Steve, dude.
Shady Steve, yeah, man.
God.
Yeah.
Is that where the Shady Oak comes from?
Super
Shady Steve?
Shady Steve
Because it fucking should be. It is now.
No shit,
We're changing your history.
Great. No, Shady Steve came from, I think it was the head sales guy for 101 North Brewing, who, for whatever reason, always called me Shady Steve. So, yeah.
For whatever reason.
We're not sure.
We don't know yet.
He's not around anymore, so we can't.
Yeah, I haven't seen that guy in a long time. In fact, ever since he said that. But,
it caught on.
He and I went on delivery, and I came back. I don't know where he went.
Yeah, poor guy.
So when did you officially open?
Well, I mean, I guess there's a place that doesn't have a tap room.
Are you open?
I am open, yeah.
When did you sell your first case of product?
Yeah, my first case was probably early December of 2014.
And how long did it take to make that product?
That batch, that one was one of the quicker turnaround batches, so that was probably 3-4 months.
Okay, cool.
Something like that. That was a beer that was bottle conditioned with Brettanomyces.
Nice.
So, yeah, following the Orval thing there.
Okay.
But a lot of what I do is sour brewing, so I was brewing for probably 6 months before I brewed anything else to serve quicker. So I was brewing, I think my first brew date was the 4th of July in 2014. And I remember that night. Yeah, I didn't sleep, and just because the system I used to work on was a 15-barrel batch, and I do 30s, so I would do back-to-back batches. But when you add into that I also had to go to my place, load the grain, clean the stuff, go there, come back, unload it, clean the IBCs, come back again.
What the hell's wrong with you?
A lot of things. It was basically a 48-hour workday kind of thing.
So like you'd been tempted to just do a 15 barrel.
Yeah, and so I now do some 15-barrel batches. But for the bigger ones, especially ones where I want blending opportunities, I still stick with 30s.
And you're still making the same wort, essentially the same sort of wort, a Belgian pale, whatever this is?
Ish. I mean, everything's a little different.
Oh, really?
Yeah, every different batch. Mm-hmm. I do this in kind of a series. So like the Funkatronic that you guys are drinking on right there, that was the first one in the batch of what's on tap right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So
first one meaning
the first one in like a series. Like it's the same base beer. It's just I use a different hop in it.
Oh, okay.
I meant just one single hop varietal.
Okay.
Yeah.
And dry hop.
Whirlpool,
do you dry hop?
Whirlpool and
okay.
dry hop.
Okay.
So a little bit of both.
So the series is multiple batches. It's not one batch that you split.
Yeah, it depends on the beer. With the bigger releases, it'll be one batch that is multiple different batches that create that, as it is with the Funkatronic there. But some of them are batches that I split up little bits here and there.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Do you make a dark beer too, or just one?
There's a dark beer that hopefully we'll be tasting soon. That should be coming out. That was a crazy experiment, so I guess we can talk more about that when it comes out.
Excellent.
But, yeah, that was a super fun beer.
So how do we like Funkatronic, guys?
It's really good.
I dig it.
Light, very
I got the pineapple character that you get from Brett sometimes. Pretty strong. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
It made me wonder if it was from the hops, but then I saw the label said Nelson Sauvin. So probably not from the hops.
Right, yeah. God, I love Nelson. It's so much fun to play with, but it's so hard to get. Yeah, it's funny tasting this beer now after sitting in a bottle for damn near 2 years. You know what I mean? Like I always planned, everything I made, I expect it to age. And that was something I expected more people to do, but I found out, it disappears a lot quicker. So, I only have a case or so left at the brewery. And I think it tastes fucking amazing right now. I'm loving how it's going. But a lot of it, Funkatronic and the kind of the Funk Hero series of beers, which so far includes, there's one called Groovalistic, there's one called Stone-O-Matic, and there's two more that have yet to come out. It's essentially a wit beer. It's a wit beer base. It's a lot of unmalted barley and unmalted wheat. Pretty simple recipe, very grainy recipe. And then, does that make sense? Very grainy?
Sure.
Okay, right now.
Yeah, there's grain in it, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Some beers.
We're all idiots here. Everything makes sense.
Okay, perfect.
To us, yeah.
And then I basically just hop it in mainly a big Whirlpool edition and two different dry hop editions. Let it go with a wit yeast, and then bottle condition it with a Brett Brooks. And just let it age. Nice. And so when you get it fresher, there's a little bit of funk coming in, but there's something about the interplay between Brett and dry hopping that I just love. I love what it does. It's kind of that anti-oxidative yeast somewhat, and kind of helps keep these certain aromas going around in the bottle, and I love what that does. So
using pellets or flowers, or how are you drying
pellets? All pellets.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's easier to find. You know what I mean? Obviously easier to use, especially with Nelson.
Okay. I don't know if it's the Brett or what, but to me there's more of an earthy quality to it that I would assume would be flowers. You taste like a Sierra Nevada beer that like you go to the brewery and it's like the fresh dry hop Sierra Nevada Pale Ale or whatever.
Right.
And you kind of get that earthy quality. Maybe it's the wit yeast with that Brett with the flavor of the hops, but
I tend to think it's the combination of the wit yeast with the Brux.
It seems like a deeper hop flavor, which is very good.
I purposely stress out the wit yeast a little bit to throw a little bits of like kind of sulfur kind of things, and then I throw in all the Brett yeast to kind of it cleans it up, and I think it ends up with a very earthy kind of thing, but also this kind of bright tropical. I don't even know what, just this bright tropical thing that happens at the same time that I'm a fan of.
Did you know what you were doing when you first started doing like for this beer? Did you like, this is how it's going to be?
I don't know what I'm doing
I know what I'm doing.
I have no idea what I'm doing now. No. Every one of the beers I've ever made on a large scale, I have made a home batch for already.
All right.
And so like one of the, so as an example, the Funkatronic, I made that probably 2 or 3 years before that as a just kind of a test batch. And when I bottled it all, I remember, drinking most of it pretty quickly. But then one of them I decided to just leave out in the garage and forget about. Hot, cold, whatever. I don't give a shit. Just let it swing just to kind of see what would happen. And I cracked it after probably a year or so, sitting in my garage. And at the time, I used a Galaxy for that one, and all I could smell was Galaxy hops. And I couldn't believe how strong that was after sitting there aging in heat for that long. And that was kind of like, all right, this is something I really like. This is something to do.
Yeah, you think that would drop out under those conditions.
You would think so.
At least get consumed.
Yeah, and it definitely does, but not as much as you would think, for a 2-year-old beer.
Well, maybe the bread's the secret ingredient here, the one that locks the hop flavor in and doesn't let it go.
I wish I knew the exact answer, but I do not. But yeah, I kind of, seem to think the same thing.
Well, I mean, hop oils bind to yeast cells. Why wouldn't they bind to Brett cell walls?
Exactly.
So there might be some oil stuck on the Brett.
Exactly.
That's not settling out.
Possibly,
yeah. Exactly.
Fuck, you guys are smart.
That's the logic.
Sometimes I know a thing or two.
Yeah. Sometimes you guess at a thing or two.
That's mostly true.
Okay, so I just cracked open the Alpha Cure.
Ooh, fun.
What the hell is this?
Well, the description is on there, which is a fun thing to read. But Alpha Cure is
you could just read it.
Yeah,
well, that's
just
true.
read it.
All right, hold on. Let me read this.
Okay, please do.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Alpha Cure is kind
Thanks
of...
for coming, Steve.
Thanks, yeah. I'll see you guys later. Alpha Cure was... I kind of designed it after, my perfect hangover cure, hence the name right there.
Okay.
It's meant to be... My design of it was I wanted a farmhouse, but I kind of describe it often as a sour light, spelling it L-I-T-E kind of light, where there's a little bit of tartness... a little bit of barrel character, a little bit of that kind of Brett/wine fruit kind of character, but none of it over the top is what I was shooting for with it. And it's also lower ABV. I think that's 5.3, something like that. So that's what Alpha Cure was designed as from the beginning.
5.3, yeah, look at that.
So that spent about 7 months aging in Chardonnay barrels, something like that, with a couple different strains of Brett and a lactic culture that I really lucked out, or not lucked out, but I was really trying to design it to not take over and get really acidic. I just wanted a little bit of tartness. I didn't want it, over the top kind of sour.
I think you nailed it on that.
Thank you. Yeah, I think I did too. I like where it's at, So
yeah, it's
that's
moderately tart.
Forgive the descriptor, but it's very juicy.
Okay.
It's very juice-like.
God damn.
I know, right? You can't get away from it.
Juicy. Not like an IPA, though.
Not like an IPA. Very different than a juicy IPA.
It's a clear juice.
Yeah.
It's a clear juice.
I can see through it.
But it's very fruity, very rounded fruity, too. I know, some beers you can have that are kind of lower on the scale and, have all this stuff in it, can be kind of 1 or 2 dimensional, but this is this has a lot to it. It has a lot of layers.
Thank you. That's kind of what I was working at. I wanted a lot of complexity, but in a kind of an easier-to-drink package.
This is for you, Tasty. This beer is made to make your face feel better and enjoy the silliness and absurdity that surrounds us. Pairs well with a midday break from the world, street tacos, and a little blue dream.
Street tacos.
Do you get the Blue Dream reference?
There you go.
I get that.
Okay, good. Snuck that by the feds.
That's right.
That's got a UPC. Yeah. I didn't know. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right.
I got tired of reading by then.
Oh, okay.
They don't listen to the show, so it's fine.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, you'll
We're
be
good.
right.
I don't know. I just...
Whatever.
They pissed me off after the IPA thing for Funkatronic. So
That
I decided I was
fucking
going to try to
stupid,
sneak things past them. Well, there's another joke to Alpha Cure. It also kind of sounds like all fuck your. So that was another thing I was trying to sneak past, So
wasn't there a brewery that called the beer Sofa King?
Probably. I hope so. God, I hope so.
I hope so too.
Yeah,
I want to look it up now.
Yeah,
that would be amazing too.
I would like to know this.
So what have you tried to throw by them that has gotten caught?
That's the majority of it. The wait times for label approvals have gotten so long that I can't really fuck around like that anymore. Practically.
You don't want to wait.
Yeah, exactly. I do it a few months before because it's barrel aged. I have that option as compared to burning out hoppy things or whatever, but. Still, I don't like waiting around on it anymore. So that was so far that's the most I've thrown at them. But
now this beer has a lot of flavor, a lot of body still left in it. You feel like it's going to change over time, more than say another beer that's I don't know, not as rich as this one.
I do feel yes, it will change over time. There's God, we have Brett Perux. I'm trying to just remember everything, all the cultures in there. There's at least 2 or 3 strains of Brett in there, and it was fermented with essentially a straight Belgian farmhouse yeast, as well as a lactic strain. It will change over time. I'm more than sure it will. I did use a lot of oats in this one because I did want some body in there. So there's some oats and rye in there to kind of keep that in there.
But there's no fruit addition?
Nope.
Yeah.
Why does it taste like there's fruit in here?
Because you're a fruity guy. I don't know what to tell you.
I am.
Yeah.
Such
I'm
a
not sure what
fruit.
to tell you. Yeah,
Is it just the straight Chardonnay?
Straight Chardonnay.
Really?
Yep.
I really like the Chardonnay barrel character in it.
Thank you.
I wouldn't have. Honestly, I wouldn't have guessed that is a Chardonnay barrel.
Oh, yeah?
I wouldn't have. I would have thought that there was some sort of juice in there, maybe like a sweet cherry or.
Well, I think some of the fruity esters are from the Chardonnay.
Yeah, but they don't.
How it reminds me of that.
And other esters. And then they tack that with the tart character.
It's not.
That equates to fruit, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, but you know what I mean. You guys have all had wine barrel aged sour beers.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that smells like kind of oxidized wine or whatever. This doesn't have that. So it seems very deliberate, like it's an actual ingredient that you put in. But I mean, I guess you did. It's in the barrel, right?
Yeah, I did with the charred barrel. Some of them were pretty freshly emptied when I got them, and I was trying to make sure and save and time it all out for that because I wanted a little bit of that chard grape character, not the Chardonnay wine character, but the grape kind of idea, and that's what I hope and think you're getting as far as fruit goes.
I think so. Yeah. When you get barrels that you have to refurb or recoup yourself, what kind of loss in flavor, I guess, do you get from that? Do you get? You see what I'm saying? Like, is it just pretty much just oak coming through? Not a lot of that wine character is going to be showing through into the beer, or does it not really matter?
I mean, for the most part, it's hard to tell with oak. I mean, some of it I get and I crack the head, and there's just so much whinstone and crap in there that I just sit there scraping it off, and you'll be exposing new oak inside the barrel. So when you put whatever you put in there, it's going to get more of it. But at the same time, I'm after more neutral oak. Sometimes I want really specific oak character, but I don't like too much oak in my beer either. You know what I mean? So I always kind of have to play this kind of fine line between the two of just scraping off just the whinstone, but not anything else, sort of thing. I don't know if that answers your question at all.
Yeah. So in the barrel, and maybe some folks don't. I don't know. There's char. Depends on what kind of barrel. So you're careful to not scrape off any of that stuff.
Yeah,
because that has the character of the wine, and that's essentially what you're trying to
but
to
you
bring
also
to the
want,
beer.
As neutral. Well, you don't want as neutral as possible, but I think some people do want more neutral. I think some people do want more oak. I kind of try to play a middle ground between the two. So one of the barrels I was working on recently was a bunch of spirit barrels, and there's these barrels are now full, but I had these. What are they? Spirit Works gin that they put into these brand new Kentucky oak barrels for 3 months, emptied, and then gave to me, and I filled them right away. And I kind of looked in there and was like, I don't want to touch this thing. This thing looks beautiful. The char in there is just gorgeous right now.
Wow.
So I'd be afraid to hammer too much of it, and that's kind of when I'm cleaning out the barrels and scraping them like I do, I'm really careful to get some, but I don't want to take all of it off there. I don't want to expose essentially brand new, untouched, uncharred oak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of this waiting game.
So even when there's no whinstone, which is just the acid crystals and shit in there,
like the calcium carbonate, just the stuff that drops out of wine.
Just the crap, right?
Essentially. I mean, it's wine. So,
yeah. Even with the spirits, when there is none of that, right? That's a dumb question. Probably,
I mean, that I've seen yet. I mean, I haven't worked with spirit barrels that much.
Okay.
But.
So when you're refurbing a spirit barrel, there's not you're still scraping some of that away to expose some of the oak?
The last few spirit barrels I got, I looked at with a flashlight, and it looked good. So I said, let's go for it. Well, it was recently emptied, and I really wanted to capture that gin kind of character. So I didn't want to open it up and do all of that. But it looked fine. It looked gorgeous. And the gin was only in there for 3 months.
How many barrels did you take apart before getting one put back together and actually held?
Yeah, right.
Liquid.
You could swell back up.
Yeah, that was a nightmare. So the first barrels I started doing that with were puncheons. And it was more that because my budget was so low, there was essentially deals that I couldn't turn down.
Leaking puncheons, right?
What's that?
Leaking puncheons.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, essentially, I bought.
Somebody wants this shit.
Yeah, I bought essentially 6 or 8 leaking puncheons for a very, very good price, like $15 a pop.
And you thought, hey, I could fix these.
Yeah, did you know they were leaking?
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean,
Okay.
there was no way they couldn't be, but I was convinced I could fix them. So I remember talking on different forums and other brewers and stuff. They're like, no, you can get it going, no problem. Don't worry about it. I'm like, all right, I'll trust you.
You can do it. I wouldn't do it,
Yeah, exactly.
but you can do it.
Exactly, the lesson I learned, and I did. And I did get some of them to hold.
Nice.
I think out of the 8, I think I sold 2 of them, so I got the other 6 to hold, and it worked. But it was a fuck pot of work, and it's not something I want to do again. But if it comes up, I will.
Did you find another brewer and said, hey, you could seal these 2 puncheons?
I fucking believe in you, bro.
I thought about it. Yeah. Fuck, man. So much goddamn work. I couldn't imagine working on a fooder or something like that.
Oh.
You know?
No thanks.
Yeah, a lot of the wineries in Napa County, they're getting rid of these oak fooders right now. And I've gone out and looked at several of these, and you see, like, inch gaps.
Whoa.
In every one of them. You don't need a flashlight to look in these fucking things. And I've written... or I've emailed other brewers about it, and they're like, oh, no, you can get it to seal up, no problem. It's like, all right, well, maybe I'll leave it for you then, because it's just like inch gaps, man, that's fucking nuts.
You can, but is it worth the work,
well,
man?
exactly, and that's what I wonder. And as somebody who has never sealed up a 60-year-old French fooder before, sorry, I haven't, checked that off the bucket list yet. Like, I have no idea, so I'm just kind of lost. And it's like, I'll let you deal with that.
That sounds crazy, dude.
You know if
forget about it.
If Cooperage ever they bought a couple of them. Did they ever get them sealed?
Tyler got. Whose were they? Were they Moonlights?
I think they were
They
Moonlights.
were Brian's? Yeah. I guess he got his. I actually haven't been to the back of the house of Tyler's place in a couple of weeks, so I don't know. I'll have to ask him next time I'm up there.
Be curious.
Huh. Yeah, his place he's probably the closest brewery to my barrel house.
Nice.
Yeah, I could stumble over there.
Are you having Wort made the same place? Or
what's that?
Having Wort made the same place?
He gets it made down at Plow Brewing Company.
Plow,
yeah, and so I was at 101 North. And kind of switching to the guys at Hen House right now.
Hen House, great.
Yeah. Great system, good people, so I'm very happy about that.
Cool. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's take a break real fast.
Like it.
Go to the bathroom, get a little bit of water, maybe. Who knows? And then we'll be back with Steve from Shady Oak Barrel House right here on the session. Everyone, hang tight.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. On the Brewing Network.
Do you know the 3 most important rules in brewing? Sanitation, sanitation, and sanitation. And no one does it better than 5-Star Chemicals. 5-Star knows sanitation. You can only sanitize clean equipment. And 5-Star knows how to clean, too. For craft brewers and home brewers, 5-Star has what you need to keep your fermenters, serving tanks, kegs, and draft lines sparkling and free of any beer-spoiling bacteria. PBW, caustic, acid cleaners, Star Sand, Santa Clean, lubricants and defoamers, pH stabilizers, and more. 5-Star Chemicals has cleaning supplies, safety supplies, heat exchangers, pumps, hoses, and valves. And 5-Star is proud to offer eco-friendly products that exceed customer expectations. If you have a cleaning problem, you need the 5-Star solution. Visit 5starchemicals.com or call 800-782-7019. 800-782-7019 and get the 5-Star treatment today.
If you haven't heard, there's a completely new brand of brewing equipment. Kettles, burners, and accessories. Trustworthy everyday gear that helps you forge and shape outstanding beer the way you want. It's called Anvil Brewing Equipment.
Hi, I'm John Palmer. You may remember me from such self-help books as How to Brew, Brewing Classic Styles, Water, and the Brew Strong podcast. I am very pleased to announce the debut of Anvil Brewing Equipment from Blickman Engineering. I have been working closely with them these past few years to develop products that combine the best of materials, features, and price point. Each of these products has been developed, tested, and reviewed to meet these ideals and bears the Palmer Brewing Solutions stamp of approval on the packaging. Anvil Brewing Equipment, inspired by Palmer, built by Blickman, and made for you.
Check out anvilbrewing.com. Anvil. Durable, reliable, dependable.
That's it. I've had it. I am never putting hops in my beer again.
What? Why?
It's just too ridiculous. Insane prices, stupid contracts, high shipping costs, crappy selection.
Dude, you need Nico Brew.
Nico Brew will rock your f***ing face right the f*** off your f***ing skull. $5 shipping to all 50 states. Plus fantastic international rates get you low prices on Nico Brew's great selection of hops and more. Whether you're a home brewer, a pro brewer, or a home brew shop owner, Nico Brew can get you the hops you need in increments big and small. Single orders, spot buys, or full contracts. And there's only one place to join the uber special secret elite bare bones club where you'll get the best deals anywhere.
Holy f***ing shit.
NicoBrew.com. NIKOBREW. Nico Brew, your bare bones buddy in the brewing business.
If you work in retail sales, the restaurant industry, or are a new craft beer enthusiast, or you know someone who is, you have got to check out Beer 101. Beer 101 is an online course created for anyone wanting a quick introduction to the vast world of craft beer. Beer 101 covers the history of beer, brewing ingredients and processes, vital stats like ABV, SRM, IBU, and gravity, styles, tasting, glassware, and pairing beer with food. The Beer 101 course is offered by the Brewers Association at craftbeer.com. Also home to the truly awesome Beer Style Finder, a visual guide to every beer style. Quickly play with color, bitterness, and alcohol content to interactively explore the entire world of beer styles with a gorgeously designed interface to your favorite beverage. The new Beer 101 course and new Beer Style Finder are only available at craftbeer.com. Craftbeer.com, celebrating the best of American beer.
Williams Brewing is your online resource for prompt delivery of quality home brewing supplies. Since 1979, Williams Brewing has offered the finest equipment and the freshest ingredients, backed by the best customer service in the business. Do you like to mash using efficient fly sparging, but would like an easy way to heat your strike and sparge water? Enter the new Brewer's Edge electric mash water heater, a plug-in, anywhere, precisely controlled heater for strike and sparge water. Ditch the fumes and second burner and make mashing easy. Go to williamsbrewing.com today and browse their vast selection. That's williamsbrewing.com. Orders placed by 4 p.m. Pacific Time weekdays ship the same day. Brewing is easy the Williams way.
Tuned into this session
because life's too short to listen to crappy radio.
All right, everybody. Forgive the longest intro in the entire universe. That's the boredom police coming for your whatever. Anyway, it's the session, everyone. We're hanging out with Steve here at the Hop Grenade or whatever. But Steve is from Shady Oak Barrel House in Santa Rosa. But before we get back to him, let's talk about something Warren is passionate about: making kombucha.
Yeah,
if you guys are interested in making kombucha and turning it into a business, or just need a refresher on best practices, join White Labs for a 2-day course taught in collaboration with Manna Nova. Instruction will cover the science and processes behind kombucha, from microbiology, fermentation, formulation, scaling up, and choosing the right equipment, to dealing with common issues. Register at yeastman.com before September 22nd and save $50. That's a pretty good deal, man. For more information, visit whitelabs.com/education. I tried to make kombucha a couple times for Taryn. It came out pretty good, I think.
I loved the day that I got to burst some crunchy hippie people's bubble when I told them that they were getting their kids drunk in public at the park. feeding, like when they were giving them kombucha.
Really?
I was like, that's alcoholic, right? Like, no, it's all natural, and it's this fungus mother that makes all these nutrients. I was like,
it's not a fungus either.
Yeah. It's just like, okay, you know what fermentation does, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what beer is fermented? Just all right. Like, and then just like the weed cloud was clearing from their head, and they realized what they were doing, and they're like, oh no.
But you said the word all natural.
That made my day. Yeah,
it's all natural.
Yeah, it's all
like
natural.
anthrax.
Yeah, so that's my favorite moment in kombucha.
Gordon's favorite personal kombucha story.
Ruining hippies' day.
Wonderful. All hippies. Yeah, I like that.
Okay, so we have Sonoma-tastic.
Oh, okay.
In our glass here, and you did. Yeah, so that should be it.
This is the off cure still, I think.
No, should be.
No, that's still the off cure.
What? Are you? Sorry. Well, here. Let's.
Fuck is wrong with you?
There's a lot.
Did you pour me the same beer twice?
Well, my producer isn't producing, so.
Thank you, sir.
No, wait, that's me. So reading the bottle, and I learned a lesson from last segment. I should just read the bottle. This is a rustic farmhouse ale with Britannomycin.
Shocker.
Yeah, right. What is this thing, man?
Rustic farmhouse ale.
What's a rustic farmhouse ale, Steve?
This one I kind of I wanted something with a little more octane, a little more alcohol to it, and I wanted to use a blend of kind of different unmalted kind of adjuncts and different grains. So there's oats, there's rye, there's spelt in there. I've used a little bit of everything.
Okay.
And then I kind of so for this one I think I used some aged hops as well. Kind of some older stuff. I really didn't want any hop character to it. No lacto that I put in there. But then, God, what was it? I'm trying to think of the fermentation schedule that really. So for this one I used a blend of something that was basically French Saison as well as a Belgian Saison strain, like about 50-50. That's what I pitched into there.
What were we trying to get from each of those? Anything? Did you have specifics in mind?
With the French strain, I really like the attenuation to it, but I've kind of, over the last few years, I've kind of stopped liking some of the phenolics that it can put out as much, and so I kind of thought a blend would help calm that down. I mean, in addition to barrel aging with some stuff, I thought would kind of get after that. So yeah, it fermented with that, and then immediately went to all puncheon barrels, the ones I was referring to earlier, those exact puncheon barrels, with a blend of, God, how many strains of Brett? So there was a few different strains of Brett, and then there was also a wild strain of Brett that I had found out in a vineyard years ago that I had been using in my house, in my kitchen lab for years and years and years. And I thought it worked. I really liked it. I really liked what it could do. So
you found a Brett. You found a Brett strain.
I found a strain.
Just walking by.
Yeah. Look at that.
There's a fiver in the gutter, and I was like, oh, look, a Brett strain.
Shady Steve over here.
Fucking Shady Steve, dude.
Panhandling for Brett strains.
I quote, found it.
Giving you a Brett handy.
Ground find.
Yeah, pretty much.
Would that be a brandy?
It was, a randy. I like that. That's
a brandy.
Brandy, yeah. Even better.
Yeah.
Okay. What I used to do is I would I would brew something and fill up a bunch of 1 gallon fermenters, and I would go and put them random places with cheesecloth over them, basically.
What do you mean, like just hidden throughout your neighborhood, or in the house?
Sometimes. I mean,
really?
not neighborhood, but like I put one in my backyard just to see what it could do, and then I put one, down by a creek or down by where, there was a walnut orchard or something a mile away, and one of these was one that was over by a vineyard. And I put 2 or 3 out there, and none of them took except for one. This is fucking years ago. I was still a homebrewer at the time, like maybe 10 years ago, maybe. But I really liked what this strain did, and I really liked how it worked. And I never plated it. I never went out of my way to identify it. I just liked what it did, and I kept favoring it and using it in different, like, kind of my house culture, just for homebrewing at home. It just kind of kept coming back, and I kept using it more and more. And I don't know, there's something I've really liked about it. To me, I get this kind of almost eucalyptus-y kind of smell out of it.
Okay.
And it actually was next to a eucalyptus grove, too. So it makes me think there's
something in there
something involved, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How old is this one?
I heard a few at once.
Oh.
What?
How old is this?
I was just calling him crazy. Yeah, definitely answer his question first.
In the bottle, it's probably been about 8 months in the bottle now.
Okay.
Yeah. And
then before that?
Probably another 8 in the puncheons.
Okay.
Something like that.
Before that, it was younger.
Before that, it was.
And then what about before it was younger?
It was a little too young.
Too young.
Yeah.
All right.
You got to keep.
Well, the timeline's intact. I see that.
Ish. I mean, I don't know. My timelines are.
So how does this strain perform compared to like pure strains in terms of like?
What do you mean?
Time to do its job.
As far as the Brett strain specifically,
the strain that when you found.
The one you found versus like a grown-up culture
like,
from a thing.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
Good question.
Well, the first few times I used it, it was in a completely, it was just that. There wasn't any other strain performing in there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, one of the few that was alcohol tolerant and was very attenuative. So it's, it surprised me. And yet, as far as the characteristics go, they were, it was definitely wild, but it wasn't all over the place. It just from me smelling it, it didn't taste like it was super wild. But there was still something, I felt there were a lot of subtleties that I really liked about it. And so what I started doing was throwing it into basically my house kind of Saison culture.
Blend.
That I would kind of use over and over again, sort of thing.
Cool.
I tried using it on its own a few times. It did the trick, but it was really slow, and I don't know. I just felt uncomfortable with it. So no matter how much,
it's always with something else.
Yeah, exactly. I've never done it solo besides the capturing time of it. I've always done it with a few other things.
So when you create like the mixed culture, you said you had put some of this into a mixed culture that you were that you use over and over again. Mm-hmm. Does that mean you take those same cultures and blend them the same way, or you just take a sample of the resulting culture? And then play it and pay it forward.
Kind of depends on the strain. Like a lot of my sour cultures are ones that, some of them are ones that I started a sour beer, years and years ago, home brewing, and I liked some things, so I kept it going, and then I split it into 2 smaller batches, and I liked one and didn't like the other, so I got rid of it, and then I'd put the dregs of beatification in one or whatever. And just over time, I guess my natural selection has kind of chosen one kind of culture over another throughout some time, and those are the ones I've kind of stuck with. So
it never changes every time you use it. I would assume, probably, right? I mean, unless you unless you take a sample and store that,
right?
Then you always go back to that and kind of take off from there, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the flavor swing? If that's even something you can even answer, you know what I mean? Because like Tasty's saying, it can change every time.
Right.
And I've read some stuff where you've said that too. You're like, I can't tell you what it's going to be like when it's finished.
Yeah.
Is that window kind of wide, or that doorway kind of wide for it to shift in between, or is it relatively narrow?
I think it is a pretty wide window. I get ideas. There's cultures I've tried in barrels, so once in a while, like I do these 30-barrel batches, and I'll fill up, 14, 15, 16 wine barrels, whatever it is, and I'll try, a culture that I know is tried and true for the majority of them, and then one of them I'll put a slightly different tweaked culture in, something like that, to see what'll happen. Sometimes it's great. I've also dumped barrels too. So it's kind of both. So
or blend it back in.
Depending on how it was. I mean, if it was decent,
then sure.
Iffy. I'm pretty picky about my blends.
No,
but
if it works, it works.
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise, you dump it.
Exactly. So I've just kind of gotten to the point where I've always trying a different culture, a different mixed in one barrel or 2 barrels, or maybe I'll have 2 different ones just to try out. And so a lot of it has been what I like and what has worked time and time again, in succession. And so I'll stick with it. Whereas other ones, when I get bad barrels, I dump the barrels,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Are you gunning for sort of consistency in between, the labels, like the Sonoma-tastic? When you do this again, are you going to try to get to where it is now, or are you going to let it be its own kind of deal?
Yeah, that's a good question, because right now I'm sitting on. Yeah, you're very welcome. Yeah, right now I'm sitting on round 2 of Sonoma-tastic and Alpha Cure, because I love those beers so much.
Sitting on, meaning you haven't released them yet; they're still hanging out.
Yeah, they're in barrel right now.
All
they're all on oak right now, and the Sonoma-tastic tastes exactly the same right now, and the Alpha Cure it's a little different, but not. I mean, I don't know.
How is it different?
It's hard to describe. It's a little less tart so far. So
Okay.
I'm kind of like, maybe I'll just give it a little more time in the barrel, sort of thing. So, I'm not necessarily shooting for the exact same beer every single time. The Funkatronic, for example, I did just get all the hops and everything for, so I will make that again. And
Well, IPAs can be different, so.
that's true. They can be juicy. They can be cloudy.
Fucking IPAs. I still can't believe it. I can't get over that. I cannot get over that they made you call it an IPA.
Yeah,
I can't get over that.
I know. I couldn't either. I was pissed about it happening, and I didn't want to put IPA on the fucking label, and I basically had to.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you guys.
Now you should just put it on everyone and see what it takes to get them to say, hey, could you take IPA off the label?
Believe me, that thought has come to my mind, because it's just like...
How many hops are in here? 4?
Yeah. What's to stop anybody from putting IPA on any other beer from here on out forever?
This is a Berliner IPA vice.
Yeah,
Right.
Exactly. Like, what is to stop that?
Like,
Nothing.
Like, are
So,
they
it's
actually
fucking ridiculous.
looking at the style guidelines, for example, and go, oh, this might be too
they're not.
dark?
Right.
Yeah. So you
Right.
could literally, this is my
That's what I
IPA
mean.
robust porter.
But that's how it works. That's how the feds work, man.
Wow.
And it's fucking
They
ridiculous.
were okay with black IPA.
Well,
clearly,
it's true.
Yeah. But you have to make sure you also write out Black India Pale Ale.
Oh, right.
And Black IPA. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah. So, I don't know. It drives me crazy.
You would think, especially in California, I mean, we have a ton of breweries here.
Right.
You would think that you can do whatever you want.
Well, it's done on the federal level, though.
Well, I guess you're right. I guess you're right. I mean,
he might be.
I'm
He might know what he's talking
most
about.
likely not. So, just keep that in mind.
I like this beer, man. I like it a
All
lot.
your beers have been great.
Thank
You've
you.
obviously
Thank you
done
so
a really
much.
good job.
Thank you very much. It's been a lot of fun.
I dig your labels too. This one has basically a barrel looks like exploding.
So so what I try to do for most of my labels, and
it's kind of cool.
Tragically, I have 2 of those bottles don't have labels on them, but I'm trying to get different artists for different series of them. So the Funkatronic, for example, the same artist did the Stone-O-Matic label, which we had on tap earlier. There was another bottle that was released a while ago, Groovalistic, I think it was called, that had the same artist. The Alpha Cure was a great example. That was Nick Fulmer, who did Faction.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Society.
Sure, we know Nick.
Nice. He's done a million things. He's done everything. Kid's fucking amazing. I love that
Some
guy.
stuff for me.
Yeah, I'm sure he has. Yeah, he's great. Didn't he do the
for Tasty's brand
for your brand?
Freebie, of course.
For your standards. Freebie.
He changes the shirt on the Tasty Man.
It was a collaboration.
What? Your contribution was, hey, draw this, draw me.
Draw this. I'll give you some
my
beer.
Me.
My contribution was when he said, "Hey, Tasty."
How did he get you to stand still for so long?
No. It was a poster.
Wait, so you made a poster of yourself, then he drew it from that?
Yeah, I'm on there in a way. Like a
Soon to be a
caricature. I'm on
cardboard
there.
cutout.
Like a Farrah Fawcett.
It's me holding like 4 beers or something.
How's that happen?
Well, I had like a 4 collaboration beer event at City
Was
Beer.
it
Oh yeah.
And he said, I want to do a.
Is it on a tray? This is what I'm trying to get at it.
Like,
You're wearing a
like
dirndl?
this.
Yeah.
Just trying to,
No, he made me like a 8x10 tin tack of the thing too. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Rad.
Wow.
I'm a lucky guy.
You are a lucky guy.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of lucky guys, Nick is fucking awesome.
He does
great
job.
artwork. So
Yeah.
And he
he's
has a
just
unique
part of
look, which is what you're looking for.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted. And so, the Alpha Cure one was done by Nick, and he did a great job. And he's definitely on the road to do more soon. The guy who did Sonoma-tastic, he's actually doing the most recent one, which we don't have a label of right now, but there's a barrel blend that I put together a couple of days ago and carved up that hopefully we'll be tasting soon. So that's one. There's what is she? I guess you call her a muralist. She usually does murals all over Oakland and the city and some up in Sonoma County, and she did the Electric Relaxation. So it's kind of, I try to pick it by artist for kind of a set of beers.
Nice.
It's a pain in the ass, but I don't know. I don't want everything to look exactly the same, and I don't know. One of the things I'm always afraid of the different trends in label and type font style, and I don't want to stick with one. I don't see the fun in that.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to change it around and have different artists always doing something.
Yeah.
Once
if your brand takes off, which these beers are really good,
thanks.
People want to recognize your beer, because they may find you may have a spot on a shelf for the beer of the day, because these are pretty good. I mean, it's like rotating, I would assume. they want to know that it's your brand every time. So as long as there's some room on there for your Shady Oak.
And I don't know if that's. I don't know anything about fucking marketing. I have no clue. So that might not be the best way to go. But that's why I always try to make sure that you get my logo on there.
Yeah, your logo is consistent in the center.
And the same font for the name of the beer down there.
Would you do me a favor?
I try to stick with that.
What do you want me to do with it?
Pour it. Like pour some of that beer.
Pour it into glass.
Just on Doc's head.
Are they easier jobs?
Hang on a second.
Do the Cab Franc sour first.
No, do this one first?
Do that
okay.
one before.
Warren, do me a
that's why
favor.
I didn't listen to you.
Put that one down. Pour this one.
On Doc?
On Doc. This one is on Doc, yeah.
It looks like he's falling asleep over here.
Doc has a rough life.
Does he?
Yeah. He works for a living.
Right.
Well, it was his day off.
So I want to talk to you about the other two beers that we had, and I guess specifically about the folks at Rate Beer, because not only are you a new brewery-ish, I guess. Are you still a new brewery? You're not a new brewery. You're an old brewery now.
I guess it depends on how
you're an old guy, right?
Yeah.
But apparently in January of 16, right, 2016, you were ranked as the world's third best new brewer and California's best new brewer by ratebeer.com.
Yeah.
The world's third best new brewer.
Yeah.
In the world.
Yeah.
The third in the
world.
How does that happen? I'm not doubting it.
How many breweries opened up in 2013?
Like 3.
Or 2016?
Wow. 3.
Oh, okay.
In the world. So, you
know. And they've been to all of them.
That seems like a weird thing. Congratulations. I definitely don't want to, tease you a little bit.
It was the last thing I ever expected to hear.
But I mean, California's best new brewer. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you've been open a year at that point, right? Ish?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Ish, something like that.
Coming off that TV thing, that must have felt really good.
It was probably all B.Y.O.B. TV.
Yeah,
sure.
They were watching reruns. The guys at Rate Beer were like...
on the coattails of one of the world's most amazing reality TV shows.
How did you get the attention of the Rate Beer sheep? I mean, Raiders.
Sheep. Nice burn. I don't know, and I still don't know.
Well, you must have had they have an event, they had a big event last year. Where they poured all the beers from
the
different
Rate Beer
breweries.
Best.
Did you pour there?
I didn't. So the story was like all these people were invited, and then the guy who runs it, Joe, was like, "Yeah, you know Joe."
Don't they live in Sonoma?
They do.
Area?
They do. Yeah. Yeah, I know. You're right. Right?
Fucking Shady Steve
over here.
God. Yeah. This Brandy's. No,
Brandy's for everyone.
Brandy's for all. No, he just started. He emailed me and he was like, "Hey, it looks like you might be up for an award. You should, clear that day and be ready to come over and stuff like that." And at the time, I was like. I heard a lot of people going like, "Oh, we love the Funkatronic label," and I'm like, I don't know what Rate Beer Awards are. I mean, maybe they really like the artwork. Maybe it's best label artwork.
Yeah.
Didn't expect shit.
Really?
And and they called me for the California Brewery one, and I was like, oh fuck, I kind of lost it. And I got the award.
No, that's great, dude.
And I gave Joe a big old, bro hug.
A brandy.
And a brandy.
In front of everybody.
And a brandy all over the place. Yeah.
So how did people get your beer? How big is your market?
Your distribution deal?
Yeah, and that's so I'm distributed through. I go through Artisan right now.
Okay.
And so with 30 barrel batches, you can imagine I go all over the state at that point.
Okay.
And so what I'm convinced what won or got those numbers up for that award was the Funkatronic beer.
So it went sort of viral.
The sheer volume of ratings and stuff like that, and high ratings, I think is what did it.
Excellent.
Yeah, no, and I was
What are those beers rated on? You were telling me
97 or 98.
Yeah, you were telling me beforehand that those two beers, the Funkatronic and the
last time
Alpha
I
Cure,
looked,
right?
Rate Beer or on Rate Beer, Funkatronic was 99, and Alpha Cure was a 98. So
I mean, that's got to be. I mean, look, as opinionated as people who rate beers are.
Not you.
No.
I don't think they're right. These are really good beers.
I mean, that's got to feel good no matter what, right? I mean, Jesus, right?
It felt fucking great, but I didn't ever expect anything like that. It wasn't something I thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
So it was really.
Were you?
I didn't know what to do with it. It's not like I got those awards and was suddenly like, cool. well, tomorrow I'm going to go make another Funkatronic, and in 2 days I'll have a whole bunch to release to the state. Like, I can't just turn out another beer that quickly. So I get great recognition, and I'm like, awesome. I don't have anything to sell you now. I don't have a tap room for you to visit. So, it was a great thing. I absolutely appreciate it. Amazing. Very beyond humbled for it. But I don't know what to do with it either. You know what I mean?
Did it help like a little bump in sales over a month or two?
Well, by the time that rating came in or that award came in, Funkatronic was sold out. So it didn't with Funkatronic because it just wasn't around. It did help out. I think at the time there was Snowmatastic was out and maybe one other beer. It helped. It helped, but it's always hard to judge, because it's just me, one guy, and then I sell all over the goddamn state. So it's like it's everywhere, and I don't have the energy to, find out about every single market, specifically what the beer's doing in Fresno, this part of LA, that part of LA. You know what I mean? I have no idea.
So you could have seen an uptake in SoCal, but you have no idea what it's for. There's no way to track all that shit.
You don't know if you put more beer into that market, whether you'd sell more or not.
Exactly, because my distributor's handling a lot of that. And it's one of those things like I wish I had a better grasp on. And the distributors, they're great. They tell me everything they can, but it's just...
Well, you just have to go by the big, like their signals. Like, give us more, we can sell more. And if they say that, then there you go.
Pretty much, So,
are you busy just hand bottling all of these solo?
So thank God the one thing I don't do alone is bottling days. I usually get a crew out there. Pete Schlossberg, Pete. He comes out all the time to help me bottle. And basically, it's a bunch of retired guys that want to get out of the house.
How do you afford Pete Schlossberg to come bottle your beer?
Easily. You just give him some beer.
You do the same with Tasty?
Pretty much, yeah.
No, that'll work.
Tasty doesn't work, though.
He'll bring guys.
He'll come out, but you're not going to work. Okay, gotcha, yeah. Basically, Pete and any of these other guys, honestly, I'm incredibly thankful and grateful to have that. I just tell them, hey, I need some help, and they're like, we're there. And they'll show up, and they'll invite friends, too. And every time I'm amazed. I'm just like, holy shit, I can't believe I've convinced all these wonderful people to work for some dick like me. And I pay them in bottles and everything, and I get lunch and breakfast and get the donuts and coffee and shit like that. But still, just having, there's Pete fucking Schlossberg, sitting there, helping me bottle and making shows. And I'm like, this is one of my heroes who's, helping bottle for me right now. You know what I mean?
Man. He's a trip, man. He's a trip.
That guy. He's great.
Ari did a lot of that.
Ari, exactly. Ari's hilarious. Yeah, Ari's always there, and he brings his bread. So.
They're good dudes.
I like Ari, but fuck Ari. He ruined.
What did Ari do?
He ruined. I
love Ari.
I love Ari. Don't get me wrong. Nice guy. Hung out with him a couple times. Makes good bread. Cool dude. I don't think he did it on purpose. He ruined the ending of Star Wars for me. Like the new Star Wars.
The new one?
He spoiled the big reveal where Han Solo died. He put it on Facebook.
Did he?
Whoa.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Han Solo dies?
But
dick move.
He put XXX space XXXX.
What does that mean?
Han. So he didn't write the name, but he wrote Han Solo out.
Fill in the blank.
And it was a post on how it was ruined for him because he was waiting in line to go into the thing, and he's like, I can't believe that someone said XXX dies. And I'm like, who the Han? Fuck!
Yeah, well, you chose to solve the puzzle.
My brain is a steel trap.
Looked away.
It's not. It's like that. It's so fast. It's lightning fast, Warren.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm not like the most people where I have to am I going to think about this? Yes, and then continue down the path. It's already solved.
Wow.
You didn't think about
do I want to know
my life? I should just look away.
Yeah.
Well, it was too late. Like Warren said, I already solved the puzzle. It was already solved. It was an easy puzzle.
Yeah, look away, man.
Yeah. Not really. I'm being, I'm being facetious. I like the guy.
So Ari's a terrible person.
He's a terrible person.
He's a terrible Ari. That guy, don't friend him on Facebook all the time.
Yeah, don't follow him on Facebook.
Fuck that guy. Gotcha. It's fun. Bottling days are always very hectic days for me, and I have a mobile bottling guy that helps me out. And it's the two of us, and I get there at 5 in the morning and start just bumping Wu-Tang or whatever to just get me fired up to get through the day. And then around 10, I get everyone else coming in. I'll get a crew of 20-ish, or I'll say 12 to maybe 20, maybe 15-ish people, something like that. And it's mainly a bunch of people that just want to get out of the house.
You don't still bump Wu-Tang when Pete rolls in?
I do.
Okay.
Pete loves Wu-Tang. Yeah. And
How can you
36
not?
Chambers. Yeah. No, it does.
If you can,
it
if
works
you can,
really
if
well.
you can play out a CD, I think or wear out a CD from playing it too much. That's the CD I've worn out.
I've got a handful on that list, and everyone's kind of in a different genre. But that one is like really just for bottling day. That's my album.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does it really well.
It's a good album.
Yeah, agreed. But I'm always amazed. Like every time they help, I'm just so incredibly grateful. So incredibly just like, oh my God, everybody just drove up, especially with Pete and Ari and all these people. Like,
yeah, that's a drive.
You're not
for those
driving
people,
from
dude. Yeah.
just down the road.
They're in the city, I think, right?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Pete and Ari both live in the city. Yeah. And they're both like driving up just to help me bottle. Fuck, man, thank you guys so much. Whatever you want, like, I'll give you a brandy, like, you know what I mean?
How'd you get connected with those guys?
I did actually, that's a good story. I did a radio show. There was one up in Santa Rosa. I forgot the name of the thing. It's like beer, brew, ha, one of those.
Oh, PSRO.
Yeah, that's the one. And I did that show, and it was really weird because it was, I'd been listening to you guys for 10 years.
There you go.
And then I had to go do a beer talk show, and I was like, don't say fuck.
Right, on the radio.
Yeah.
I was on that one.
Yeah.
I was on that one.
Were
time.
you? Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
I had to really tell myself.
Yeah, and I've been listening to you guys for so long, I didn't know, like, oh, God, how are we going to get away with not saying this stuff? So I kind of talk with this very rigid, quiet voice. It's pretty fun. And eventually, so I did that one time, and one of the producers, hosts, whatever, was just like, hey, Pete Schlossberg is coming to town, and he mentioned he wanted to try one of your beers. Are you around? And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? One of my heroes? Like, fuck yeah. And so I ran out and met him, and then he said, like, hey, whenever you want. For bottling help, come on out.
No, those guys do that all the time.
Yeah,
that's really
that's
cool.
That's what I got.
They have credit. They have a resume.
Well, they're always down at Highwater.
You're not special.
And
that's what it takes to say.
Done some stuff down there.
Well, Firestone and Highwater, they're always helping out.
Sure.
Thank you.
They're helping out Altamari all the time.
They've helped at Russian River before.
At Russian River, yeah.
Because they're both retired.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, and they get to cruise around, check out breweries, drink free beer.
Ari brings hella good beer.
Fun.
Yeah,
or bread.
Yeah, and then Pete, the other half of his life, he spends in Brazil having even more fucking fun. So,
right.
Yeah, exactly. So, why not, man? It's amazing.
He makes some really good chocolate malt balls.
Yes, he does.
Yeah,
he brought us a bag of them. They were super tasty.
Depends how hot it is.
That's crazy, dude. It might just be one. What are we drinking now, man?
We're working.
I mean, we've been drinking it for like 5 minutes, but we've been bullshit.
It's really good.
So this was a barrel aged. Kind of a wild barrel aged thing I made that.
It's more, Doc?
I'll take.
Yeah, I do.
I'll take.
Please.
All right. Well, you got to give me your glass, Tasty. I can't.
Oh, really? Can't you just pass the bottle?
Oh, yeah, I can do that. I'm sorry. Yeah.
That's what they do in Europe.
Wow, so cultured.
Thank you.
Wow.
Sorry, Steve. Go ahead. We're giving Tasty shit, and it's hard not to.
I'll wait till you top off there.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I will be, though.
So, in Sonoma County, we have a lot of
Thank
fruit,
I'll
that
take those
being grapes. So I know enough people and can blackmail and bribe enough people to let me go and scavenge vineyards these days. So this one in particular this is from a vineyard up in Dry Creek area, which is kind of northwest of Healdsburg, if you know the area at all. Okay. And it was a bunch of Cab Franc. And there's something about that grape that it's one of the few that I've always really enjoyed and kind of liked what it does. And there's not there's not a lot of it grown out there. It's mainly a blending grape. So anytime you're drinking a Cabernet Sauvignon or whatever, there's generally a small portion of Cab Franc in there, and that's how the grape is grown. But I really like what it does on its own. And if you ever try a Cab Franc on its own, like a single varietal, it's fucking wonderful, I think. And as somebody that hates wine, that's pretty I think that means something.
Yeah. It means it doesn't taste like wine.
Right, I genuinely do not like wine. I just never have. But anyways, I found all these grapes. I found all this stuff, and I was like, fuck it, I want to put all of this into a beer. So I went out to this winery, and I found it was about 70-ish pounds at the time. And it was all, it was right after, was this the one I did pick? Yeah, no, this one I did actually pick. I was out running out there with the hook. And
that's the worst.
Picking grapes?
I've harvested grapes before. It's the fucking worst.
Yes, man. Yeah. But, I wanted the fruit, so I did it.
Yeah.
And took it all back to my place and destemmed and tried to get all the, we call it Moog, materials and objects other than grapes, which took forever.
They have machines for that.
Yeah, they do. I don't.
You can rent it from More Beer.
They exist.
I wonder. I'm sure they're real cheap.
It's only at 70 pounds. So
Yeah.
70 pounds is not like a lot of.
No, it's not, and that's the thing with 70 pounds.
It's
I
like,
wouldn't
what,
bother
4
renting
gallons
something,
of finished wine
Yeah,
or something like that,
essentially.
yeah.
And so I just finished a few days ago doing essentially the exact same thing with Pinot Noir, and it was like more close to 120 pounds. But exactly, it's just me. Like, you know,
do you
what I mean?
do that
I'll
a
bitch
lot?
about it,
Working with grapes and like going out and picking, working with different wineries on getting grapes and doing all kind of weird shit like that.
Not too much. I like fruit and all different fruits for sour beers. I don't have a specific thing for grapes, but with where I live, grapes are fucking everywhere because people think you can make something that some people think tastes good out of it.
Sound like me with IPAs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like I'd rather put it in a beer personally. So there's a lot of that up there.
Okay.
I also did peaches before that. There was also in the Dry Creek area. I went and got like 120 pounds, something like that, of September snow organic peaches from like a little peach farm out in this area that was just covered by, there was wineries everywhere and just this little stronghold of peaches right there. And they're fucking gorgeous. So I filled a barrel.
Cool. Now back to this beer. The 70, you said you took the 70 pounds, took all the crap out of it, the moog, whatever you call it.
The moog.
And then go ahead and continue what we do next.
After that,
you already got beer that's already been
it depends.
under ferment and ready to go?
So what had happened at the time is this was a certain barrel from the Electric Relaxation, which is on tap right now, which I don't know if we've had in here.
We have not had it, no.
The second use of that barrel, you said?
It wasn't the second use. It was that there was one barrel that turned out that I really liked that I thought had something special, and I wanted to add some fruit to it.
Nice.
And so I took the fruit, and I remember I did it old homebrew style, where I took it and froze it in the vacuum sealed bags. I mean, with 70 pounds, you could do that. You know, if it was a ton, you can't.
No, just to break the membranes down.
Essentially, yeah, breaking all the cell walls. So I did all that, and then let it thaw out, and then poured it in a barrel, and it just exploded, just took off fermentation.
The one 55 gallon or a pungent?
That was a 60-ish, like a Bordeaux barrel. Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, 58 to 60.
So 70 pounds in that size. Well.
Yeah, and that's why I went. Just a touch. Yeah, and so that's why with the Pinot I went about 120 pounds. I wanted a little more character. You know, I like the grape character in here, but I want a little more fruit character.
You know, that is a good point because they say about 100 pounds of grapes is about 5 gallons of finished wine. Or so-ish, right?
Yeah.
So you're putting less than 5 gallons of finished wine, what would be, right? In what do you say, 60-gallon barrel?
60 barrel, yeah, 60-gallon barrel, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
And to come through, there is that essence of the grape. It's not winey, it's juice. It's fruit. I'm not even going to say juice. It's fruit forward.
Yeah. You don't mean juicy?
I don't mean juicy, but I could. If you piss me off, I can mean juicy. No, I'm kidding.
Don't ever do that.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? You get the essence of the Cab Franc. And you get the oak, and so you kind of get like there's like a wine essence, but it's not wine. It's very clearly a beer, and very clearly with fruit added. It's very good. It's probably my favorite beer that we've had today.
Yeah, thank you. It's very clearly a beer, but to a wine drinker that doesn't like beer, they would love this beer.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, okay.
It'd be very different. It'd be fucking with them, which is always fun to do.
Well, that's the point.
You're right. But
and some of your other beers fall in the same category, I think, where they have that wine character because of the barrels you're using and so forth.
Are you finding you have to do, and you kind of alluded to a little bit, I guess, are you finding you're, I don't know, forced into using grapes and using wine-related accoutrement, right?
Can you say that word one more time?
Yeah.
Can you say it?
What?
I can't.
Please.
Get accoutrement.
Perfect.
Thank you. I also say croissant. Given that you don't like wine, but you find yourself still working in that field, incorporating those flavors into your beer,
I think it's more that I'm not a fan, and I'm trying to joke when I shit talk it, kind of thing. But I don't know. It's just the flavors and everything have just never worked for me. They've never been something I've enjoyed, and growing up in Sonoma County, I've just never been into it. When it comes to what I do, I'm approaching it from the beer standpoint, and that's it. If I think a particular grape is going to have a good flavor, I want to use it. As far as the methods go, though, it's moving it out of barrels. I still bulldog a bunch of barrels. I still have to treat barrels the same way that I learned to when I was in the wine industry, stuff like that. But For the most part, it's from a beer standpoint and only a beer standpoint. I've never wanted to be a winemaker or be involved in it. It's just, honestly, it was a position that was, if you're up in Sonoma County, where we do have a lot of breweries now, but we have probably 10 times as many wineries. And when you're that fermentation geek and you know what I mean, like that's kind of the easy job to get. You know what I mean? It was kind of like the best thing to get at the time, so I went for it because of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
How
Beer's good, man.
Do you do much temperature control now that you're doing beer compared to wine?
Yeah. So my method is kind of ridiculous. So what I do is I basically have plastic tanks as primary fermenters, essentially open primary fermenters. Most of what I make it only sits there maybe a few days before it moves to barrel.
In just an ambient room, or is there temperature control?
So what I've done is anybody who's ever done any kind of fun plant growing, I make you know what I mean, I make
succulents.
Succulents. I basically made a temperature controlled box with really thick rigid insulation and like the little thermostatic control and an air conditioner unit and stuff like that. And it's obviously not the greatest controller of temperature at all. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm never going to throw a cal ale or a lager yeast in there ever because I know I can't control the temperature that way. So they're always Saison farmhouse yeast. They're always, a wit beer yeast is the most different thing I've thrown in there.
And they respond well to temperature change.
They do. And with that, I can control the temperature-ish. Is basically how I describe it. Like I used to take my first few batches. I took a tank sampler, which are these crazy stainless steel things that the lid floats as you drop it down into your tank.
Oh yeah,
variable volume.
Yeah, you pull it up and So
Pull
I borrowed one of those from the winery I worked at, and I was checking the temperature, and I was always like right around 20 degrees difference between what I set my my thermometer at on the temp control and what the actual thing was.
Wow.
So I can't tell you that I get an exact temperature, and I don't think I ever will, and I'm quite all right with that.
What about repeatability?
But you're making
you want to make you do get better temperature control. You have it in a glycol jacketed stainless steel tank, and you can control it. And say the beers aren't coming out the way you'd like them, like they did in the old days. You may have to. Is there something? Maybe you're onto something. Is what I'm saying.
Perhaps
you're getting flavors you would normally get.
Perhaps
people who would do that.
Perhaps, but also at the same time, a lot of everything I make is also going into a barrel with multiple strains of Brett, and there's so much other stuff going on that I feel that the initial Saccharomyces fermentation alone doesn't do a lot in controlling the overall flavor. It's a part
what
of it.
Percentage
it's a piece of it.
What percent do you think it'd be? Just
I know.
This is my.
It's hard to put a number on it.
Is it 20 or 40, or is it 50-50, or what do you think?
It's hard to put a number on it. I will say it's a piece of the pie of the whole thing. With the barrel, with the time, with the other bread strains, with the other other ingredients I do, and the aging and all that stuff.
Anyway, whatever the result is muted by the subsequent events.
I'll say, I could be a dick and give you the answer of 1 to 99, but realistically, I'll say it's probably maybe 20 to 30% is kind of my guess. That's just kind of how I felt it out that way.
It's like 2 to 98.
Yeah,
okay.
Essentially.
Thanks for narrowing it.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I guess I feel that's just kind of, I can control temperature to a degree, but, I also pay attention to the seasonality of when I'm brewing, too.
Now, you mentioned essentially open fermentation. What do you mean? You have...
So basically, I'm brewing in these big plastic tanks that I cannot completely perfectly seal up.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
But they have a positive pressure internally.
Yeah,
right?
definitely. Okay. Definitely, they do. And they work out really well, actually. I'm amazed at how they work. But just kind of after using, I mentioned I worked at a brewery for a little while that used similar ones on a much smaller scale, and other home brewers gone pro kind of things I've seen on forums, pro brewer stuff like that. Cool. It works. If you know what you're doing and you're trying to, if you know what you have to work with, as in, this isn't something that you could seal up and with CO2 and do everything. As long as you know how to work around that, you'll be okay, and that's kind of what I've stuck with. And so it's positive pressure, and as soon as things start slowing down, it goes right to a barrel.
I see.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Good beer, man. I like it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
What's this one going to be called? so I can look for it at my
Which one?
local with the
dark one?
the Pinot. No, the Cab Franc. Sorry,
the Cab Franc.
Warren fucked me up.
I'm still working on the name. This is in bottle, as you just saw, and I'm a fan of it. I haven't labeled it yet.
Can I make a suggestion?
Cab Franc IPA.
Jason Petros.
You'll have a lot of it for a long time.
Jason Petros.
Just Jason Petros.
I hear Cab Franc IPA from Doc,
Cab
though.
Franc
That's
IPA.
pretty fucking awesome. What about Jason Petros IPA?
Or Jason Petros.
Oh,
See, there
perfect.
you go.
He turned his mic
Yeah,
down.
so there.
Okay. I like that.
Cobb Petros.
Yeah, Jason Franc.
I like it.
Jason Franc.
Just my name has to be in there somewhere.
What is that
I like
IPA after it? It doesn't
Jason
matter
Franc
what the beer
IPA.
is.
Right. It could be dusty butthole IPA, and it would sell.
Or just put his phone number as the name.
92. No, I'm kidding. Get my fucking number. Get out of here.
Yeah,
Warren.
wow, you got two numbers.
Okay. Last but hopefully not least, so we have a beer in a PET bottle.
Yeah,
with the
that's my
classic
method.
carbonator cap, which is great. The homebrew.
First class all the way.
First class all the way, baby.
Hey, that's how I do barrel blends.
Is that what you did with your prize money from
Yeah,
B.Y.O.B?
totally. Yeah.
Tons of carbonator caps.
That's it. All went into carbonator caps. Man.
You're like, these are the future.
Yeah,
These are the future.
Yeah, I bought futures and carbonator caps.
Oh, they're fucking great. No, seriously, they are great.
It's the darkest beer that we've had. It's a dark beer.
Yeah. So this is a beer I'm
Step back.
I'm really happy with so far, but it's all in barrel right now, and the plan is to be bottling and doing a little bit of kegs of it pretty soon. But it was a very different beer. I thought it was too interesting to not bring in. So,
What am I smelling, man?
your upper lip.
I don't know
ask me
exactly,
that
but
yeah.
Don't ask me that. Yeah. Hopefully.
I mean, I want to say like a barley wine or like a bourbon thing, but that's probably not right.
I like
get a little
this.
porter.
You're getting porter.
Yeah.
Porter, okay,
A
yeah.
little chocolate.
Everyone smells
roasted
porter.
malt.
Okay.
Chocolatey grain for sure,
All right.
yeah.
Take a taste now. It's the first thing I smell is porter and chocolate and all that stuff too.
Like a Russian imperial stuff.
Pretty much.
Tastes
yeah.
like an IPA though.
It kind of has. Oh, definitely. It's a porter IPA.
Yeah.
That's fucking delicious, dude.
Thank you.
That's really good.
Thank you.
This is
really-
now my favorite beer that I've had tonight.
Oh,
Oh.
such a sweetheart.
More than Jason Petros?
A little bit.
I don't like myself very much. I don't know if you
pretty
knew.
good.
Cabernet Petros.
No, so this was. I had never made a dark sour before, nor had I ever had a desire to. I don't know. I think there's a lot of good examples out there, but I just didn't feel like it was something I wanted to go after. And somebody offered to me a bunch of Heaven Hills rye whiskey barrels.
Oh man!
And I was just kind of like, "Fuck, these are cheap. Let's design a beer for it." So I kind of just, I kind of just sat down and kind of said how I wanted to design a beer. I wanted some acidity, I wanted some dryness, but I didn't want it to be over the top. I wanted chocolate, but I didn't want roasty. And so basically, I tried to design what I would imagine a sour porter would be. So I can't remember the grain bill right now, but it's mainly Pilsner with some chocolate malt and a touch of that Carafa 3, the dehusk stuff.
Dehusk,
yeah, love that stuff. I mean, I barely used that much of the bag even, and then I split it between Pinot Noir barrels and these rye whiskey barrels, and it's been there for about 9-10 months, and I'm in love with this beer right now.
Yeah. It's so good,
I'm
dude.
a big fan, and I can't wait till I get more to bring you. You know,
When does this come out?
Awesome.
When does it go into bottles and we can buy it?
Sorry, burping. I'm hoping
That's
in
the name, by the way. Sorry, burping.
Sorry, burping.
Yeah.
Sorry, burping IPA. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. I'm hoping in the next few weeks. I'm shooting for a early October bottling of that. So I'm hoping that'll work. And then, I'm probably going to bottle condition it with Brettanomyces and some other kind of sugar as well to kind of increase a little complexity. But as it is right now, I'm pretty happy with it.
So is this
Wow.
in a tank blended, just sitting the whole batch is ready to go?
It's all sitting in barrel right now still.
Separated out. So did you pull this from multiple barrels?
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is part of what I do is
part of your blending.
Is this a custom Brewing Network blend?
Sure.
Fuck yeah!
Wow.
She made it.
We finally got a scoop.
The best new California craft brewery of 2015 made us a blend.
Third best.
Wow.
They're third best in the world.
In California,
Oh, right.
one.
Shit, that's right.
So you don't even know.
No, I don't.
You need a hype man, is what you need.
I know.
Yeah.
You guys want to be my hype man?
A big barrel. Yeah, a big barrel head around the neck. Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'd be. Yeah.
That works.
Actually, I'd be a shitty hype man.
You think so?
Well, I need time to play Overwatch.
Okay. I don't even know what that is. I'm sure
he's got gaming to do.
Get your gaming done and be my hype man. I like that.
All right, let's do it.
All right,
Let's do it.
sweet.
All right.
I forgot the question.
What's the question?
Yeah, what was the question?
You blended this specifically.
Right. So
probably not
get
for
this?
us, but
yeah. So another one of the things I do every day is I'm always kind of going through and picking apart blends. So I'll go through it like, today I'm going to check the sour barrels that I filled in whatever month from whatever year kind of thing, and I'll check them all, kind of go through one by one. And especially when I'm getting close to a bottling, I check every one of them in equal parts. I kind of divide it out, and fill up the little flasks, and I'm really careful with gassing them. A lot of stuff I learned from working at the winery. And then I fill them up, I check them, and then I put it together, just equal parts of everything we have, just to see what that's going to taste like. Taste that. If I like it, cool. If not, whatever. I write it down, and then I'll go through and do that to every other individual barrel as well. And if anything sticks out to me as good or bad, then I'll throw that back into the blend as either take this out or more of it and just kind of see what it does. To me, blending is kind of one of my favorite parts. Like, I fucking love blending. It's so much fun. You could taste, seriously, you could taste so much unique, just wonderful things. Just, the exact same beer with even the same bugs and just in a different barrel. And I love that. So that's kind of been a thing. So this is essentially equal parts of everything. So I would call this my initial blend.
Okay.
Nice. You know what I mean?
So are your barrels
to get
just covered in Post-it notes?
Totally.
From late-night tastings?
And chalk and spreadsheets that I have and shit like that.
That's right.
And,
essentially, Steve has two people working for him.
Right, there's Steve
and Blackout Steve.
Steve, Blackout Steve, Shady Steve. You forgot about Shady Steve.
Shady
I have three. So
when was the last time you met Blackout Steve?
It's been a while, actually. It's been a long time, and I feel good about that. Yeah, he hasn't written in a long time. So
pen pals.
I try to stay away from Blackout Steve these days.
Yeah, well, you got a business now.
But he's a nice guy.
You got something.
I hear he's great. I hear he's great.
He takes care of you.
Oh, he does.
He communicates well. He always leaves a note.
If we work a little bit, we might get to see Blackout Steve get an invitation here.
Oh,
so
wow.
It could be very fun.
Oh, jeez.
Could be.
It could be. Yeah, we don't know. I'm going to leave it up in the air.
I think that's probably best.
I think Christmas show.
Christmas show.
Bev and I were talking. So here's my idea for a Christmas show.
Right.
It was part of Bev's idea too. I can't remember which. But Bev was saying we should have a bunch of brewers on to play like Beer Jeopardy or something like that. Okay.
This idea.
Definitely invite Blackout Steve.
Only Blackout Steve.
But yeah, not
Shady Steve.
Not Steve. Yeah, not Shady Steve either.
Speaking of, can you hand you more of that?
Yes,
Dark Sour?
I can.
You have to come in blacked out.
Okay.
But I think it'd be cool to get any brewers who show up, if we do this, to do like a collaboration beer on the air. Just like work it out as a recipe. So like at the end of the show, everyone has a recipe to brew. And you and then that could be part of the segment is like we're working out, what do people do when they do a collaboration beer, right?
So they wouldn't actually go out and do it.
No, they wouldn't actually go out and do it. We're sitting here talking about it for 20 minutes. Or like, hey, why'd you pick that? Why that many? What are you looking for?
And in the aftermath, we all just kind of jumble together all the recipes and ingredients that people talked about and try to create something like that.
I think that'd be fun.
I like it.
So we can get Blackout Steve in there somewhere.
Blackout Steve.
Yeah.
He'll be the secretary.
That's right. It all just said
of my Blackout Army.
Every line is 38% of fuck off. 24% of fuck off. Anyway,
your report's printed.
I can't wait. Sounds like fun.
That's a great beer, dude. I really like it. That's my favorite beer so far.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Or the Cup Front. I can't tell.
Oh, you're such a sweet.
And we still have more beer to try. This is plenty. This is good.
It's good.
Dude, I appreciate it. Thanks for coming in, man.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for.
Well, I want you to come back. I mean,
whatever.
No, man, no worries.
We got two more Steves to interview.
That's true. That's right.
We have at least two more Steves to interview at some point.
That's true. All right. Good
so you say you're all over California. Where can we typically find it? You in Bevmo or
Whole Foods?
Whole Foods,
great
good.
example.
Okay, great.
Whole Foods. Most of the places I'm at are kind of the smaller smaller mom and pop bottle shops kind of places.
Nice. But people are looking for better beer, where you get better beers.
Essentially, what I tell people is wherever you get your quality beer from.
Excellent.
Yeah, and so most of those places, I don't know the names of all of them. They're in San Diego, L.A., Fresno, you know what I mean? There's plenty in the city.
We have a great one up here. I don't think I've seen it. I don't think I've seen your beer there, but Monument Liquor.
Yeah.
You might like them, actually. They have a label for Pliny the Elder whenever they get it, and they call it Pliny the Hipster.
Awesome.
Which anytime you can kind of poke fun at your own customers,
yeah,
I think that's just great.
I agree. It takes a lot to get there, but if you can do it and get away with it, you're good.
It's like equal parts hate and love, right?
Yeah, you know you've made it if you can make fun of your own customers without them stopping from buying your product.
That's kind of what we do, but we don't have a product to sell. We have T-shirts, I guess.
I like your T-shirts.
Yeah, they're all right.
People buy them.
Some people do.
I tell people just quality bottle shops wherever. So if we're in the Bay Area, the Good Hop. I've seen them at Beer Rev. I've seen them at what's the place in Albany?
Get in that microphone, bro.
I'm getting in it. Albany. All over the place.
Is it always the 750 format?
So far, I stick with 750s. Yeah, okay. And the green bottles are kind of an anomaly. Like I wasn't trying to be in the green bottle, but I had a really fun time with a glass dealer who was being a dick. So that's why there's some in green bottles.
What did you do to him?
Nothing. They decided to deliver my glass on bottling day to Los Angeles instead of Santa Rosa. So.
Well, I can see how it's a good mix-up.
They sound so similar.
It's like 400-mile difference.
Right, yeah. I could understand the confusion. They sound really similar. They're really close to each other. So, I get that.
They start with the same letters. They're both Spanish. Maybe that's where they started and ended. They're both Spanish.
But it was a Walmart.
Good point. Essentially, yeah. It probably was. So, anyways,
Where can we find out more about your brewery, buddy?
I have a very horribly maintained website right now because again it's just me. I try to stay on top of it.
Different Steve.
What's that?
Different Steve.
Different Steve does that.
Steve.
Yeah, different. Yeah, that's Techie Steve. Yeah, Techie/Methy Steve. Adderall Steve.
Now you got 4 Steves to interview.
Most of the information you can get from me is the website, which is very little. Otherwise, it's my Instagram account, which I put more effort into that than anything. And then there's something on Facebook, which I kind of use. But, the Instagram is just something. It's not filled with ads. And I just got used to it. And I hope to have somebody to help me work on that soon. Yeah. But when I look at Facebook, I roll my eyes and put my phone away because I can't stand it. So I would recommend Instagram, but Facebook will work too.
Okay, awesome. And Shady Oak Barrel House, or what is it?
The Instagram handle is Shady Oak BH. Facebook Bizzle, I'm sure you just type up Shady Oak Barrel House. The website is shadyoakbarrelhouse.com, a nice short URL there for everybody. So, that's how you find me. And cool. I think there's a Twitter out there. Somebody set up a Twitter for me. I've never used it. I don't understand Twitter. I don't get it.
Nobody really does.
Perfect.
Yeah. All right, Steve. Game? Hey, man, no, there's no Twitter game because I didn't have time. Which is shorthand of saying I forgot. It can take me anywhere from 5 minutes to an hour to think of a good question.
5 minutes to an hour.
When was the last time you ever thought in 140 characters?
Never in my life.
Right?
Yeah. Hence why I don't have Twitter.
It's tough.
Steve. Twitter Steve.
Talk to Blackout Steve. We'll see what happens.
Steve from Shady Oak Barrel House. Thank you very much, dude. The beers were rocking. I appreciate it. You came all the way down here from Santa Rosa.
Thanks
and
for having
we
me.
got you drunk on your own beer. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, it's the session, everyone. Hang on. We'll be right back, and then we'll let you go.
You're listening to the Brewcasters on the Brewing Network.
Hey guys, what'll it be?
I'm not sure. What do you recommend?
A lot of people seem to like the Hefeweizen.
Is that a German Hefeweizen or more of an American-style wheat beer?
I'm not sure, but I can give you a taste.
Okay, great.
The Cicerone certification program certifies and educates beer professionals in order to elevate the beer experience for consumers. Unfortunately, not every bar is staffed with certified beer servers who can guide their customers through a beer list.
Here you go, guys. Let me know what you think of the Hefeweizen.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely more of an American meat. But I can hardly tell because this beer just smells like sour butter. I wonder how long it's been since they cleaned the draft line.
Yeah, and look at the bubbles on the side of the glass. It's filthy.
Somebody should tell these guys about the Cicerone program.
For sure. How about we head somewhere else for another beer?
Your server should give beer the same respect you do. Request quality. The Cicerone certification program offers 4 levels of beer certification, in-person classes, and course books for beer professionals. Check them out at cicerone.org. The Cicerone certification program. We know beer.
With over 20 years of experience making world-class craft beer and more than 100 gold medals in international competitions, Moylan's Brewing Company is not just a pretty face in craft beer. Just ask Brendan Moylan.
What do we got here? The beer of the hour. Moylan's, gotta love that big M. It's like a sign of awesomeness. Woo-hoo! It's got an extra kick to it. Let's pour this bad boy. Oh, yeah. Oh, Moylan's. At the end of the night, when the kids are finally in bed, the wife's in bed, nobody's bothering your ass anymore, that's Moylan's time. Moylan's is for you. Yeah. It's to help you out. Yeah. It helps me out.
What?
Well, because it's freaking awesome. Northern California brewed. It's brewed with love.
With love?
Oh, yeah. Tremendous. And it's always best where?
Moylan's.
You gotta try it. On tap at Moylan's in Novato. They're friggin' awesome. Not only because I own the brewery, because I love the beer.
Cheers!
Boom.
Kilt Lifter Scotch Ale takes big beers to a whole new level with rich malt balanced perfectly with delicate hops, and now comes in 4-pack tall boy cans so you can take the party on the go. Or come to the brewery, take a tour, and try any of Moylan's fresh creations right from the source. Check them out at moylans.com.
Your support of the Brewing Network means everything to us. We couldn't produce shows without you. And we love giving you something extra for that support. Like Brew Your Own magazine. You already know it's a great brewing magazine full of recipes, equipment how-tos, discussions of beer styles, and brewing techniques. Whether you're new to brewing and just starting out or you're an old pro, you'll always learn something from the articles in Brew Your Own. Plus, there are amazing special issues like plans for building a Brutus 10 system, 250 classic clone recipes, and a Homebrewer's Answer Book. Brew Your Own magazine and B.Y.O.com are awesome resources for any brewer, whether for yourself or as a gift. When you subscribe or resubscribe from the Brewing Network homepage, you directly support programs like this. Get a great magazine and support the Brewing Network. Subscribe to Brew Your Own right from thebrewingnetwork.com.
When I order a beer, I want my server to know more about it than I do. I want someone who enjoys good beer and loves helping others enjoy it too. I want someone who knows how to pour a perfect pint for every beer style. I want a Cicerone.
The Cicerone Certification Program is creating the type of people who help you enjoy great beer. Home brewers and craft beer lovers know beer is more flavorful and complex than ever, and it takes some serious knowledge to store and serve beer right. Cicerones know beer. There are 3 levels in the Cicerone program: Certified Beer Server, Certified Cicerone, and Master Cicerone. Cicerones are truly the sommeliers of beer. The best beer locations have a Certified Cicerone on staff. Relaxed and unpretentious. Cicerones are tested on storing and serving beer, beer styles, flavor and tasting, the brewing process and ingredients, and pairing food with beer. Learn more about your next beer guide at cicerone.org. Certified Cicerone, because it takes top talent to present a perfect pint.
BN Army, have you heard the latest at Hop Tech? Since Hop Tech has doubled in size after a huge expansion, Jade and Roberto can stock even more of the best quality homebrewing supplies and equipment. Over 60 kick-ass varieties of hops and malts, monster truckloads of quality brewer's yeast, including White Labs, Y-yeast, and multiple dry yeasts. They even have all grain systems from Grainfathers and Ruby Street Brew Systems, thanks to Jade, the brand new all-grain brewer. And don't forget about their 10% discount to all BN Army members. Jade and Roberto are waiting for you and all of your brewing questions over at hoptech.com. Hoptech, totally not sucking since 1983.
Hey, my brewing brothers and sisters. This is Jamel Zanishev, and I want to tell you about Heretic Evil Twin. You might be familiar with my homebrew recipe, which uses massive late hopping to create a balance between the malty sweet and the hoppy bitter, along with an outrageous malt and hop character. I wanted a beer with the same bold hop and malt character, so we played around with the homebrew recipe until we were able to make a great commercial version too. We've created a beer rich in malt character, full of caramel, toast, biscuit, and an ever so subtle roast note. On top of that, we piled in an insane amount of Citra and Columbus hops at the end of the boil, as well as in dry hopping. This damn-the-cost approach to hopping gives Heretic's Evil Twin a great blast of citrus and tropical fruit that can't be matched by any other hop. The result is a bold, malty, hoppy, but easy-drinking beer. This is our top seller, our flagship beer, and I couldn't be prouder of it. Cheers.
To find Heretic beers near you, click on Find Some at hereticbrewing.com.
You're listening to the Brewing Network. Because like beer, radio shouldn't suck.
All right, everyone. Thanks for hanging out. We're chatting about mob families at the break. You know,
Right.
You know how we do it on the Brewing Network.
Yeah, friends.
Right. A couple quick things I want to tell you guys, and then I'm going to let you go. Have you guys heard about Beersmith? I know you have. We talk about them all the time, but it's no reason to ignore it. Go to beersmith.com now. Get your 21-day free trial. It's absolutely free. You get free home brewing software. For those of you guys coming up, look, we get new listeners, in all the time, and you might think, dude, I can do all the calculations myself, but you can. But why would you?
Right.
Do them all. Beersmith. You have everything laid out. You don't have to keep the notebook. Like, I still have my big red notebook with all my fucking notes and all my recipes and all that kind of shit in it.
Wow.
But I don't refer back to it because it's so much easier just to look online. Everything's online now, man.
All my recipes are on the computer. I don't even have a paper notebook.
Really?
Yeah.
I still have
That's weird
an
to me.
old paper notebook, but no, things have been on the computer for so long.
Right? It's it's harder to draw cocks all over your recipe sheets if they're on the computer. But anyway, check them out, everybody. Beersmith.com. Brad over there is working hard to make sure that you have the most up-to-date things going on in your software so you can make the best beer possible. And that's really what it's all about, right?
Oh, hell yeah. And sharing it, too, mostly.
Yeah,
there's a forum.
Yeah, man.
Well, I just go, can you give me this recipe, give me that recipe? It's like, well, if I got to type it out from my written down notes, that sucks.
Yeah.
But if I can just click, click, click.
That's even better, right?
Even better.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to fax it to your friend. And the whole thing.
Yeah. You have to go down to Thrifties and
Right.
fax it.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to get Todd on the line. Todd is our big winner of the California Craft Beer Summit package, right?
That's right, man. VIP all the way, baby.
How you doing, man?
Good.
I hope you're not too hammered to talk about it a little bit.
Actually, I did take a day off yesterday when we flew back, but yeah, it was epic, man. It was really cool.
Where are you out of? Where are you from?
Riverside.
Oh, okay. So not too bad, but
That's too bad.
yeah, apparently that's too bad. So, what did you think of it, man? I don't mean to grill you on it, but I think it'd be cool to talk about it a little bit and see what you liked the most about it.
So, obviously, the organization and the vast, number of beers and breweries were a little bit overwhelming. But the classes, I was really digging the what do you want to call it, sessions or classes or
seminars.
Yeah, and my favorite part was the guy Alex you guys had,
Alex Tweet
from Fieldwork. Yeah, he kind of hijacked the whole talk about hazy beer on IPAs.
Yeah, because on the show last week or whenever it was, he was saying, I don't want to say too much because I'm going to be giving a talk on hazy beers, and I just don't want to say too much. But he pulled an Alex, huh?
Oh man, dude, he did a couple mic drops. It was pretty good.
I can see that. That guy has a lot to say.
Yeah, I had to decide because I knew there was going to be maybe even some blows going on in that one. So I was out in front of in the lobby going, man, which one do I want to go to? I want to see Jamil talk about advanced homebrewing, and at the same time, the hazy IPA conversation was going on. I was like, I got to go in there.
Yeah, that's like a WWF.
Right, which was better.
It seemed like, I mean, the guy's cool. I want to party with him one night, but
Right.
it seemed like he had like an axe to grind about someone maybe posting on social media about his brewery and his brewing.
Oh, fuck. Was it me?
I don't think so.
Good.
I don't think so. But he made such an impact. So the closing session, Vinny actually made a comment. He didn't actually call him out, but he just said, "Hey, breweries, or brewers, don't read everything on Beer Advocate or Rate Beer, because it'll just drive you nuts." And I think that's what he was meaning.
I mean, as far as if your beer's cloudy or not, or if it's cool or not, it doesn't matter. Just kind of do what you want.
Or maybe that's what Alex was victim to. I think that's what Vinny was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I could definitely see that too, and I was excited that they came in and chatted about it too. It definitely changed. I was there. I was at field work on Saturday.
Oh, okay,
as a matter of fact, yeah, because or maybe it was Sunday, it was Saturday. Because of having them on the show and kind of just getting a little better understanding about what they are trying to do. So that's
and
cool.
Their tap room in downtown Sacramento was just jam packed like 24/7 the whole weekend.
Oh God, I can imagine.
I was there twice.
The old league has a tap room.
Tasty got right in
Sacramento, and they're opening one in Napa.
Right,
soon.
I heard about the Napa one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sacramento's already up and running.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow, Alex is really going crazy over there.
Right? Brewing a lot of beer.
A lot of hazy
put in,
beer, right?
4 100-barrel fermenters just last week.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow.
So what else did you cover at the craft beer summit that you liked?
So I had to skip the brewers reception on Friday night.
Oh,
and
that's
then,
the party, dude. That's the party. Are you crazy?
I know, but we ended up at.
I skipped that too. That's no big deal.
But he doesn't know that, Tasty.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he doesn't know that.
Well, now you know.
Yeah, so, Todd, you fucked up, dude.
Well, no, I didn't, because I ran into Tasty at Lowbrow.
Did you apologize?
Yeah. No, actually, he swooped in there like Santa Claus, man. He had like a. He had like a entourage, man, and he dropped off a couple of gifts. Appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Man. Glad to help you.
You got a cookie?
Oh yeah.
Are we not supposed to say that now?
Oh no.
Okay. I don't want to blow your spot up.
Am I hiding anything now? Really?
Really? He likes to make chocolate chip cookies.
I just said gifts.
You did.
Yes,
and,
I think JP had.
And the gifts treated you right. Yeah. I came in and fucked it all up for him. That's cool. And Tasty was saying the fest was awesome. You had a good time too, right?
It was. The organizational skills, was just excellent. I met Tom, he's the, I guess the president of, I think, Tom McCormick.
Yep.
Yeah, and
executive director, I think is what.
Did you tell him how you got there, and that was the giveaway that they supplied?
I'm sorry. Say again.
Did you tell Tom you were there at the event because the CCBA, let us give those tickets away?
Yeah. No, I didn't have that conversation.
Oh,
no, I didn't.
God damn it, Todd! What the fuck are we paying you for?
We could have got 20 tickets next year.
Right?
Next.
Todd!
The guy. Well, hey, next year, if you guys want to send me again on the BN Jet.
No, you blew it, dude.
I'm down.
You blew it. You blew it. You had a one-on. Hey, do me a favor, Todd. Let me ask you a question. Thank you for your report on the Craft Beer Summit. That's pretty cool. And I appreciate you calling in, man. But let me ask you a question. Are you getting enough?
We're talking about beer still, right?
Just enough, man. But I bet you'd love more, right?
Absolutely, man.
Well, AdamandEve.com wants to give you more. And that's really convenient. You wanted more. There's somebody who's going to give you more. That's AdamandEve.com with 10 free gifts. First, you'll get a sexy surprise for her, whoever she might be. Second, a specially selected toy for him, whoever he might be. And a third, a little something we know that you'll both enjoy. Plus, you'll get 6 full-length adult movies on DVD. And number 10, free shipping on your entire order. So what do you have to do to get your 10 free gifts? It's not hard, Todd, unless you want it to be. Just go to AdamandEve.com and select any one item. It could be an adventurous new toy, a sexy piece of lingerie for you or for her,
plug.
or a butt plug for that matter. I mean, if you want to get super specific, a giant zero gauge butt plug or anything you desire. Just enter offer code. See, I don't think this is the right copy.
I missed the clip bumper copy.
This is it says here Brew Strong because the code is Jamil. But anyway, it doesn't matter. BN Army. That's BNARMY. Go to AdamandEve.com now.
Who the hell's producing this?
Steve, do me a favor and duck real fast.
Damn.
AdamandEve.com.
You missed the window. Giant window.
You don't even know. There are no windows.
I could see how much you missed.
We took the windows out.
I could see how much you missed.
You still think there are windows here. AdamandEve.com, everybody. They've been really great sponsors. If you want to get it up and get it on, they're the ones to help you out. BNARMY at checkout. You get a lot of stuff.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right, Todd. Thanks, dude. Go away.
Write him a note.
Yeah. All right, no, I appreciate it, man. Congratulations again on winning the tickets. That's real cool.
Glad you enjoyed it.
Thank you so much, guys, and I love you guys. And like I said when I called in the first time, I've been listening since 05, man. So you
that's
guys are
cool.
awesome.
Ouch.
Thanks, man. We like you also. All right, dude.
All right, guys.
Later.
All right.
All right, I think we're ready to go.
Please.
Whoa.
I think we're ready to leave.
Yeah.
Warren, I don't have anything for you to read or anything like that.
No, here's the reason.
Yeah.
I didn't bring my computer. I didn't do anything like that. So.
Wow, you didn't even bring it.
All right, well, I'll be in St. Louis tomorrow night at Perennial Ale, 7 o'clock.
Yeah, you're going to St. Louis.
Yes.
We were talking about St. Louis earlier on the show.
Right, there's an arc there.
Yeah.
It might be more of an arch.
That's why you're
Arch,
going.
okay.
Archie.
Yeah.
Not an arc.
It's not an arc?
Oh.
It might be an arch. They have the golden arcs. We have the golden arches. Anyway, well, that'd be cool. Can you get like a ticket thing?
No, it's just a homebrew club meeting. St. Louis House.
So anybody can go?
Oh, anybody will be there? Everybody will be there?
I don't know.
Everybody in Missouri.
Tasty will be there.
It's just something to say.
That's true. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening, everybody. Steve, thanks again. Shady Oak Barrel House. Check them out next time you're in Santa Rosa. But I guess you can't because they're not open in public. But look for their beers in California and all that kind of stuff. Thanks for listening, everyone. Take it easy.
JP's an asshole. Justin's a nice guy and when